Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for bearing with us. We finally made it. Welcome to the May 29th, 2022 edition of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. As always, I'm Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams, along with our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury, and our in-studio editor, Big Bad John. It's been a trial getting this episode up and running, but we are here. We are back, but we're going to step outside of our normal traditional open for just a moment. As you know, we don't talk politics on this show. We're not going to get into the semantics of the arguments. We just want to extend our solidarity to the families who were affected by the tragedy that occurred this past week in Texas. Our hopes, prayers, thoughts, well wishes, and everything positive that we could possibly send to the situation. We wholeheartedly contribute, and we certainly hope that another tragedy like this is avoided in the future.
There's a lot going on right now that there's a lot of unanswered questions as to why. We can't answer that.
No, we can't.
No one can answer that. We try to live day to day and to live your best life and to be the best person you could possibly be. And sometimes in life, things happen.
Yep.
There's no way to be prepared for it.
Nope.
The answer to violence is not more violence. We're not going to get into the political side of it because this isn't wrestling. This is an entertainment broadcast. However, we do want to say that us as Pro Wrestling Throwdown as a whole stand beside the families in Texas.
Absolutely. Our thoughts, like I said, our thoughts, prayers, hopes, and well wishes go out with the families of the survivors. And we hope that in the future, a tragedy like this is avoided through whatever means necessary. So we're going to take a second. We're going to give a moment of silence. Then we're going to break in with our regular shtick. So give us 4 or 5 seconds of quiet, and then we're ready to go. All right. That being said, that out of the way, it is Sunday. It is wrestling day. It is double or nothing day. We have a lot to unpack today.
Yes, we do.
I don't even know where to start. First of all, here's where I'll start. Luke, how was your Sunday, sir?
Fantastic. It's double or nothing Sunday.
Yeah,
it means it's point day.
Point day.
There's a lot of news coming out of Las Vegas right now.
It is heating up, and we're going to talk all about that. But first, Max, how was your Sunday?
I'm doing good. I'm a little exhausted. I went to Brazil.
Oh Lord!
Through the week.
Yeah,
I got hired for a job.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. It was a collection job. I was supposed to go bring somebody home.
I see.
And I wound up in all kinds of trouble over there. First, the plane, I thought it was going to fall apart. There's wrapped in duct tape and shit, and it was really, and then there was moves on the grind, and it was hard to land, and there was some difficulties there, and then the guy there wouldn't let me in his fridge, and that pissed me off. And we fell off a cliff, and there was these pygmies, and it was crazy, man. It's crazy. But you know what? I think I watched the rundown last night.
I was about to say, I think that strangely sounds like a rock movie I watched once.
Big John, how's your Sunday?
Oh, my Sunday's getting better.
We're up and moving, baby. That's all right. Hey,
yeah.
So quick backstory to anybody who might be tuning in right now. We're working on implementing some new technology for the show where we're able to do some graphics, where we're able to do some sound bites, stuff that we haven't been able to do before. Today was our first trial run. As you see, it did not go as well as we hoped, but that's okay. We got plenty of time.
The program didn't start on its own like it should.
But that's what these testing days are for. We'll work out the kinks, and hopefully the show just gets better and better.
Well, here's the deal. While it was taking place, at least we gave him that little bitty cat.
That's right. Yeah, everybody loves
You're
cats.
welcome.
Everybody loves a cat.
Yeah, and I was able to get some of the live chat pop up whenever the short time it did view.
Yes.
Live.
Yeah. Don't drink, don't
great.
smoke.
Correct. Leave more for us.
All right, so let's just break into the nitty-gritty. Now, before we jump into the big AEW stuff, because that's all going to run together, we do have a side story from the week. Charlotte Flair of WWE fame and Andrade El Idolo from AEW, formerly Andrade El Amas in the WWE, They tied the knot this weekend.
Yes, they did.
They're married up. How about it? Another happy marriage in wrestling between wrestlers. You didn't used to see that a whole lot.
You still don't,
And,
honestly.
It's safe to say that everybody's hitched up now, and the future of our wrestling generations is secured.
Yes. Well, and here's the deal. We all knew it was coming eventually.
Oh, yeah.
The good thing is that Charlotte got the time away
Yes.
to do this, which means when she comes back, she's going to come back rejuvenated, rested, and ready to go to work.
Absolutely. Andrade, the same thing. After his brief vacation, he'll be hopping back over to AEW for a little in-ring competition.
Yes.
So while we're on AEW, this is the big story, guys. We covered the Sasha Banks Naomi walkout last week.
Yes.
Actually, for the last 2 weeks, it's been one of the top hot topics of pro wrestling. And then a story popped along last night around 1 a.m. that blew that story out of the water.
Yeah.
Reports indicate that MJF no-showed the AEW Fan Fest meet and greet for Double or Nothing in Las Vegas last night. Not only did he no-show, that he booked a flight out of Vegas, and there are still no reports that indicate that he is there or not there.
Or not there. That's the most important thing. We know that there was a plane.
Yep.
We know that his name was on this plane.
Yep.
However,
We don't know if he got on it.
No security checks have been made. Every phone call or text message has not been answered.
Nope, he's not answering phone calls from Tony Khan, not answering phone calls from security, other wrestlers, and not even from TNT executives who tried contacting him early this morning.
Well, and here's the good thing about it is if it's a work on MJF's side, it's not a work through AEW. It's not a work through TNT, whatever it is.
Right.
But here's the deal. What better way to get the fans to tune into pay-per-view and to pay that $60 a pop to see if MJF shows up?
Also, if it is a work on AEW's behalf, kudos. The Lightning Sasha Banks situation.
We got a thing.
We were actually just talking about that.
All right, Ghostly Nightmare says, did you hear that Goldberg might be heading to AEW? So here's a little bit of backstory about that. Number one, many people don't know this because there was an NDA involved between someone whose name I won't mention, but I hold esteem and regard, and Tony Khan himself, who legitimately wanted to bring Berg into AEW at the beginning and recreate the streak. That was a literal plan. Obviously, that did not happen. Wardlow now in the position that he is, getting the Wardlow chance.
Hello, Nell.
Basically, what happened is Goldberg made it apparent to TNT and AEW that if MJF didn't want to show up for work, that Goldberg would get on a plane and go to Vegas, which means this won't happen.
Right.
But the idea that Goldberg versus Wardlow could take the place of MJF and Wardlow tonight is kind of interesting and fun.
Would that be Goldberg versus Lowberg?
Goldberg versus Goldberg.
Goldberg. By the way, before we get too further into this, you might be noticing if you're not subscribed that you cannot use the chat.
Nope.
From now on, if you're not a subscriber of at least 5 minutes or longer, you cannot send messages on the chat.
But if you want to participate in the chat, there's an easy way to do that. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, wait 5 minutes, and we'll read your comments aloud. Why? Because we're nice fucking guys.
Also,
That's why.
In the middle of birthdays and bullshit, we will give you a minute to give us 5 questions like we did last week.
You fielding questions? So, with all of the promotional stuff out of the way, and actually while on Twitter at ProWrestlingTD, you can also send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. Stay tuned for our TikTok.
Yes.
We're not making a TikTok.
We have a TikTok. We just haven't started.
We're not. I'm not making any.
Can we do Etsy? Because
You can do some of your woodworks.
Yeah, we can.
Nobody has interest in Pinterest.
Hey, here's the deal. If you can get to, I'm going to do this again. If you 500 subscribers in 30 days.
We hit 500 subscribers in 30 days. I'll make an OnlyFans and I'll show you whatever you want to see because I'm real proud of it.
That's right.
I don't give a goddamn.
You got to give us proof you're a
But
subscriber.
make sure that you're 18. And if you're not and I said that, you didn't hear that.
Also, you have, well, it's not made for kids. We're safe.
Whatever.
Here's the deal. You got to prove that you're a subscriber, though. You got to
Yep.
send us a picture, and we'll send you some stuff and some things and stuff.
I'll start a whole OnlyFans. I ain't scared.
I said.
That's what we've stooped to.
What
All
our
right.
lives come
So, back to the situation at hand. MJF, currently involved in quite possibly the biggest, most important story for AEW,
Yeah.
may not actually fucking wrestle tonight.
Yeah.
And one of the ideas in the water is that he's doing it. We've reported over several weeks that his unhappiness with his contract situation, with the management situation at AEW, is becoming more and more prevalent.
Yes.
He could just be saying, you know what, I'll do it, but I want you to pay me.
Well, here's the deal. He is your top heel, regardless of what anybody
He's
says.
the top heel in the business.
He's
today.
working on a contract right now if money was given to him before he proved himself as the top guy.
Yep.
He wants top guy pay. Give the man what he wants.
Pay
Do
the man.
you want him to show up on Raw?
And here's
with
the thing.
Miz?
Here's the thing. Cody's exodus already agitated enough of the guys backstage, enough of the more talented guys, enough of the guys who helped build the company. MJF isn't the hand you want to lose right now.
No. Joyous Pro Wrestling writes that he's going to get so much heat in the ring tonight.
I hope he does, but here's the thing. I hope it's legitimate. While it could be a work, if he shows up tonight, it doesn't matter. But I hope that somewhere backstage, MJF, or actually, I hope he's still in his hotel room waiting on the fucking check to clear.
Yes.
That's what I want. You know why? Because more wrestlers should have that ability, especially when you're worth it. And guys, this isn't unprecedented in the business.
No.
Wrestlers have been doing this forever. Hulk Hogan held up the business for more money.
Warrior.
Nash and Hall held up the business for more money. Ultimate Warrior. Bob Backlund held up the business for more money when the time was appropriate.
Jeff Jarrett.
Bruiser,
And he was their Intercontinental
Bruiser
Champion.
Brody, when he was doing Polynesian Pro, held up Poly Pro for more money in his series against Inoki. Held up AJP. Come on, man. When you're worth the money, you get paid the money. And MJF's worth the money. Sign the check. Shut up. Let the man work.
Also, when you look at the timing of this whole situation, and you remember that last Wednesday was the 26-year anniversary of Scott Hall showing up in WCW.
Yeah, buddy.
It's already on people's minds.
Yeah, buddy.
It's already there. MJF being smart to the business because let's face it, the guy's one of the premier athletes.
26 years old and already understands more about the business than a lot of guys who've been doing it for their life.
Hey, if you can take that, turn that, make more money for yourself, get your bread, boo-boo.
And to Joya Pro Wrestling's comment, MJF's going to get so much heat in the ring tonight. If he does show up, yes, he is. You know why? Because all the fans are automatically like, you son of a bitch, you almost cost us this match, blah, blah, blah. Imagine he'll come out and cut the promo.
Well, not only that, but the guys who had to have their money refunded and stuff that came specifically to get pictures taken with him, Andy shows up.
If I were MJF and I was showing up, I'd walk to the ring with a microphone and a check in my hand.
Yep.
And just be like, don't worry, folks. I showed up. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah,
and then proceed to get the ass beating he deserves from Wardlow. It's perfect. It makes Wardlow even more over. Like, this is a perfect scenario to get Wardlow mega shine by beating up the biggest asshole in the locker room.
The sad part about that is, though, here's the deal. If he does show up for the match, the best way you can play that would have him come out with the mic, talk about the money and everything, have Wardlow squash him.
Oh,
just squash
3
him.
power bombs done.
Yeah.
Just fucking smash him.
Hello.
So really, that's the biggest story going on other than Double or Nothing, which we're going to get into here in just a minute, that MJF is making waves. And here's the crazy thing. The kind of sad thing really is that Eddie Kingston cut an incredible promo yesterday about how alcoholism, affected his life, affected Moxley's life, how it's affected generations of his family and the professional wrestling business. This incredible acumen to physical and mental health for men. And 4 hours later, MJF kicked that shit square off the board by being like, you know what? I might not want to go to work tonight. I'm going to take a day off.
You know what one of MJF's favorite songs was, don't you?
What's that?
New York. New York.
That's right, baby. And just think, so we've already talked about the possibility that Sasha Banks and Naomi's situation is a work.
Yes.
Okay. So on that precipice, the idea that that's a work and the idea that this is a work, which one's a better work?
Well, here's the deal. If, in my opinion, of the two.
Well, I asked you.
Sasha Banks. Well, I know, but I know we'll probably have constrict or however you say that. Anyway,
don't drink, don't smoke.
Don't drink, don't smoke. My thing is, if it's a work, it's a better work for MJF because he's the one doing it. It's not the WWE putting out a
Tapping out
press
with USA
release.
Network and
It's none of this because here's the deal, folks. Tony Khan has said nothing. He has said nothing.
Not only that, he's instructed his roster not to say anything.
Exactly. So here's the deal. If it's a work, kudos. If it's not a work, kudos. Either way you go, he's doing what is best for him.
If it is a work, I liked the idea that Tony Khan did it the exact opposite way.
Yeah.
Because if the Sasha Banks and Naomi situation is a work, we saw the company fall on it. We saw talent fall on it. We saw the announcers. Tony Khan's approach was, all right, do it. Everyone shut the fuck up.
Yeah, don't say a word.
Don't spoil it. Don't say a word. Nobody say anything. We'll let them find out if he's showing up when it comes time for the show tonight.
You know what would be the best thing in the world? I hope this happens. I'm going to go on record and saying I want to see this happen. Tonight, there's all this talk about Goldberg. All of a sudden, what you do is you bring Wardlow to the ring and you set off some kind of something, a pound on a door, something. Have him come out with sparklers. Have MJF come out to the whole Goldberg
Gilbert
thing,
entrance.
But you do the MJF. MJF
That's
instead of the
brilliant.
Goldberg.
Mama Needs Another Book says, yo, I'm taking tally of how many times Caleb drops an F-bomb. What are your guesses, LOL? Well, that's a new one.
Yeah, what the fuck's your idea?
Sorry, man. I fucking get carried away sometimes. Now,
my guess, 37, by the way. Good afternoon, Jacob.
Good afternoon, Jake. Guys, make sure you check out Jacob's podcast.
Yes, Wrestling on Wheels.
Yeah.
With a Z on Facebook also.
We'd like to consider him part of our extended network, as well as the Joy of Pro Wrestling, Mark Ross's podcast.
Fraley Fear,
my guy BCT. We got a whole web going on over here.
It's really a love fest.
All right, so we've talked about the idea that the MJF thing is a work. Now, what if it's not a work? What if MJF doesn't show up tonight? What do you do with Wardlow?
What you do with that is plain and simple. You have Wardlow come out, cut him down. You send somebody out there that's going to be a better match.
Or
you debut somebody.
Hear me out. Do you put Wardlow in the main event with Paige and Punk and put him over?
No.
No? Don't think so?
No, you want that build for the title.
I agree completely.
Yeah,
I'm just saying as a last-minute contingency.
Well, and here's the deal. He went on Twitter just 2 days ago, Wardlow did, talk about how the TNT title is still his goal, and that he hasn't forgot about the TNT title. They want to do the Goldberg. Goldberg won the U.S. title first.
Yeah, he wants the TNT title.
He wants the second-tier title, build him as incredible champion, and then give him the push.
Or do you have Scorpio Sky and then win their match and have Wardlow come out tonight and be like, hey,
well, here's the
give
deal.
me a shot that belt, boy.
Didn't Wardlow win a championship opportunity at the TNT title like a year ago and never got it?
Yes, but here's how they can play with that. The idea is that he doesn't technically work for AEW, that he works for MJF. So Tony Khan comes out and it's like, you know what, Wardlow, you do work for AEW now. Because MJF decided to fuck us, it kills that storyline. And he's like, just to reward you, you get your shot at the TNT title.
Best way to do that, or give him the world title like you said, put him in there and have Punk fucking.
Yeah.
Legit.
Real good.
Screw him over. You already have Punk building as a top heel. You need a top heel if MJF ain't there.
Yeah.
What better way than to have CM Punk go
and
over?
Arguably, Punk is
the heel
of the business.
Yes.
That's inarguable.
Like, not only on the camera side, but behind the camera, a lot of people are having a problem with CM Punk here.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. So a lot of MJF's legitimate gripes, and not just MJF, we've covered this. There's an entire litany of guys in the AEW locker room who are so unhappy about the Cody Rhodes situation. But the Cody Rhodes situation stems from the fact that CM Punk was brought in.
Yes.
They offered Punk a ton of money to show up, to do the job, to work, outshine Cody. Cody's not getting the payday he wants, so he goes across the pond, becomes a megastar. Now, all those guys are left with Punk.
Yeah.
The real life story is that CM Punk could be the biggest dickhead in the locker room.
Yeah.
And probably is, based on his previous history. Let's be fair. Punk has never been played well with others kind of guy.
No.
Adam Page's promo last week, when he cut in talking about how he's protecting what he said, you constantly rave about workers' rights, but you behave the exact opposite in the locker room. I'm not protecting the title from you. I'm protecting AEW from you.
Yeah.
If that's legitimate, they're in a prime position with MJF making an exodus to create that ultimate heel in CM Punk. And what better way
Hold
to
on.
submit that?
Before you get into that, I think it's time to pay the bills. Don't forget, subscribe if you want to take part
That's right,
in the
baby.
chat. Also,
If you're not unsubscribed, you can't hang out with us.
smash that like button.
Please
smash the shit out of it.
Smash it. Smash it. Really
It means so much to us as content creators. The likes help us. The subscribers help us. We can get more stuff. Start doing free swag, all that good.
Mama needs another. Who
stuff.
is Mama needs another book?
Mama needs another book.
Who are you?
Oh. What we got here? Max goes with 98 F-bombs. It's a possibility.
That's true. So
Best way you do with Punk. Go ahead.
yeah. Best way to cement Punk's legacy as a heel would be to do exactly that. You factor Wardlow in, and then you have CM Punk take the victory away from Wardlow.
Okay.
It saves Adam Page, so Adam Page can get the return match. It also continues building Wardlow up as a top babyface, which he's
Right.
going to be, and he gets a kind of a payoff because now he can get revenge.
Right. And that's the way you do it. Here's the deal. You want to fucking heel. Pardon my French, but there's no kids here, and if there is, shame on you.
Hey, you want to fucking heel?
Also, though, hit the like and the subscribe button. And, sorry, if you want a heel and you want somebody believable, we all know Punk carries himself that way. Now, here's the other thing about that. I don't know if you noticed. I'm going to get off subject.
I wish you would.
Renee
Paquette?
Young. I know her as Renee Young. Most people know
Moxley's wife.
Moxley's wife. Has an upcoming sessions that drops today. Guess who her guest is?
Wardlow.
AJ Lee.
Ooh, yeah, because she's
What a
over
way
there.
to bring her into the fold.
Well, she's over there working heavy with WoW. She's their top producer and considered probably going to be a talent now with Tessa Blanchard leaving.
But the good thing about that is that you have what's set up that could happen. This is not my picks. We'll do the picks for the points.
Yeah, we're going to.
But you have an option of Adam Cole and Britt Baker versus AJ Lee and CM Punk.
Take money.
What better way than to have Adam Cole be like, AEW, while you paved the road, blah, 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 I've been in the ring for the last so many years.
Yeah, I carried NXT on my back. Now I'm carrying this company on my back.
And then you have Adam Cole flip, be the good guy against CM Punk's bad guy. They're built the same.
Yep.
They can work fluidly with each
That
other.
match
And both of
sells.
the women on each side are also just as good of workers as they are.
That match sells, baby.
I'm just saying.
Also
it's
puts
a
AJ
possibility.
Lee in the mix, maybe for a match against Thunder Rosa down the road.
Dude, don't take my money.
Take it. Take all my money.
Yeah.
Or at least the $50 for the pay-per-view. Not all my money, but you can have that.
Well, you'd have that $50 and WWE can get the rest of his money next week. When we do
When we watch Hell in a Cell. So here's the deal. I have to run inside. Yep. Plug
I
the
will.
show. When I get back, we're taking picks.
All
We're
right.
talking points. Give me 3 minutes.
All right. Like I said earlier, please hit the like, the subscribe. It helps us so much. Also, while you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube, please check out the Joy of Pro Wrestling. Check out Wrestling
Jacob
on Wheels.
The on Wheels.
Yes. Join them. They're great. Max, you actually stepped in on the Wrestling with Wheels podcast.
Jacob was live on Facebook a couple days ago. I was a little bit busy. He wanted me to join him live on camera, and I was a little busy. I couldn't, but I did engage with him a little bit, and I like what he's doing. We worked well together. As soon as he saw I was on there, he promoted us.
Yes.
So in turn, we, of course, promote him. And
I would also like to say here within the next couple weeks, as our technology gets better and the things that we do can get better, I would like to personally invite right now Mr. Jacob Wells, Mr. Mark Ross from the Joy of Pro Wrestling, Mr. Ghostly Nightmare that's in there, anyone that is a content creator or a lover of professional wrestling to join us when we have the capability to do the Skype interviews.
Has a very interesting YouTube channel.
So does my guy Beast Meets Heat.
Beast Meets Heat as well. Also, we just got to ask the question, do you think MJF will come to the WWE? Yes.
Yes.
Unless Tony forks over the money and wants to keep him.
Here's the deal. The WWE has been expressing interest in MJF for years.
Yes.
For the last 2 years specifically. MJF's a proven commodity. The Miz is getting older. He's also got the entertainment ventures. They're going to need a top heel over there. And MJF, for the money, is going to go where the money is. The WWE would be stupid not to take him. And if Tony Khan doesn't pony up the dough, pretty sure Vince will.
Well, yeah, and here's the deal. When it comes to professional wrestling, what's the top company?
The WWE.
The WWE, okay. If you're a football player
The NFL.
What's the game you want to play in?
You want to play in the Super Bowl.
Okay, if you're a professional wrestler, what's the pinnacle?
You want to wrestle WrestleMania in the main event?
Exactly. If MJF is that good, why wouldn't he want to?
Exactly. Well, that's what everybody wants.
There's no reason to.
Yeah.
Now, these fans out here, like I said, WWE is the top, and wrestling internet fans can argue me all they want. Facts are facts.
It's the top wrestling company in the world.
And if you're not in the WWE, if you're not in this business to wrestle at WrestleMania, then you're in the wrong business.
There is one exception to that rule, and that's Okada.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Okada.
Yeah.
Okada's the only guy who doesn't have to go because Okada's 32 years old getting paid Undertaker money to hang out in Japan.
I think Tony's going to fork over the money. I do too.
Absolutely, I do too, but I don't. Here's the thing. I don't think he's going to fork over the money any sooner than he has to.
No.
But I do think that when it's time to legitimately sit down, because right now, here's the thing. MJF can express whatever interest he wants to go to the WWE.
Correct.
The WWE is not allowed to entertain that until his 90 days prior to his actual contract going up. Otherwise, the WWE can get sued for contract tampering.
Yes.
Now, in that last 90-day window, let's say he does get a small extension here. He gets something in his pocket for showing up tonight.
Yeah.
If it's a shoot.
Yeah.
Realistically, it doesn't matter what Tony Khan pays him tonight. Tony Khan could pay him $5 million. That will not affect his contract standing.
Right.
So when it comes time to really negotiate, and MJF can go to Vince and be like, are you going to pay me $4 million?
Okay, I'm going to fill this question real
Sure.
quick. It says, Ghostly Nightmare says, but do you think MJF will cause conflictions with Roman Reigns and the whole Tribal Chief storyline?
Yes, he should.
No, he won't because he's still under contract till 2024.
Now, that's a good point.
So it's not going to
only
derail.
go there unless Tony Khan releases him free and clear from his contract,
I don't see happening.
and the WWE lawyers signing early, which neither do I.
Yeah.
If you were to go right now, let's entertain that notion.
Okay.
If you were to go right now, no.
Cody Rhodes.
Here's why. Cody Rhodes. The Roman Reigns and the Tribal Chief, the bloodline, that's all moving toward The Rock at WrestleMania.
Yes.
That's where that's going. The other side to that is Cody Rhodes coming up for the title, which we all pretty much agree is going to have to be up against Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
Yes.
MJF immediately goes into the fold with Cody Rhodes. Their history, MJF's legitimacy, that's exactly where that goes. Now, could he later on factor against Roman? Sure. But why would you take your number one heel from Raw, that's your fresh acquisition, and pin him up against your number one heel in the company without some time?
Well, here's my stance on that. If you're going to send MJF over, you're right. First person you should do is Cody Rhodes because the story writes itself. You left me there.
Yeah.
Because you're scared of me and you can't beat me.
You came here to be the WWE champion. When you left, you took everything from me in AEW, so I'm here to take the championship away from you.
We've got a good field right here.
This is off topic. I would like to get back into watching wrestling. In y'all's opinion, what's the best wrestling show to watch? AEW, SmackDown, Raw? Okay. I'm going to say the best show all the way around is SmackDown Friday nights on Fox.
Yep.
I don't want to get into the weeds with the Impacts, even though Impact is a great show. Not everybody has access. You can find that stuff on YouTube. If you want one consistently good show to watch every week, SmackDown on Fox. Yep. Friday nights at 7.
Rob said he missed the beginning. Should we start over?
Here's
sorry,
some
Rob.
stuff.
We had some difficulty.
We stood with the family in Texas.
Yep.
We've talked about the MJF thing, about his plane and all that.
Yep. And now we're just spitballing.
Now we're just spitballing.
So does if MJF could go and we're willing to go? No, he doesn't affect Roman yet. The immediate thing is that he goes directly into a thing with Cody, or you do what I think you should do and immediately have him show up against The Miz.
Well, to go with Rob Page's thing here, SmackDown's going down once Roman leaves. Here's the deal. It has been cited that the WWE has silently ending the brand extension. So SmackDown is not going to matter because we're going to get the old days of Raw leading into SmackDown, leading into Raw, leading into SmackDown.
By WrestleMania this year, the women's titles will be unified. The tag team titles will be unified. The world titles will be unified. They may unify the Intercontinental US title, which they should.
I think they will.
It's going to be one show.
That about 6 months ago.
Well, we've all been saying that for a long time. It's just now they're finally pulling the trigger.
And they should have.
Yeah, absolutely.
They should have already pulled the trigger.
It's going to open the competitive field. And here's the thing.
You're right.
Roman's already on his last leg of what this version of his contract is going to be.
That's true.
So they have to start establishing new stars now to pick up the pace because remember, it's not just the wrestling they have to worry about. They're still an internationally branded company, so they have to have that appeal.
Yes.
Edge isn't going to be there long. His contract's up this year unless he signs another extension.
Yeah.
So Edge will be on his way out. Cody Rhodes is going to be the next top guy with Seth. Who better than MJF to bring over in 2024 when he's 28 years old? He's not even hit the peak yet. Peak wrestling age for a wrestler is 36 years old at the age of 42.
Right.
That 5 to 8 year gap between your mid 30s and your early 40s is and you look at every single example. Stone Cold Steve Austin was a megastar early in his 30s, but didn't hit his stride until 32, 33.
Right.
Shawn Michaels, 30, 31. MJF's got plenty of time to season and then become the best version we've ever seen.
Well, and like with the me and Max actually was just talking about this the other day. We were talking about the brand extension in the end.
Yeah.
They almost have to, because here's the deal. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
When you go to SmackDown, name me 4 top heels.
Roman Reigns,
Uh-huh.
Roman Reigns,
Uh-huh.
Roman Reigns,
Uh-huh.
and Roman Reigns.
But no, logistically, 4 top heels on SmackDown.
Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn. Well, I count the Usos in with them. The Bloodline, Sami Zayn,
Okay.
Happy Corbin.
Uh-huh.
And I really don't know that I can name it. I guess one of the women's heels would be Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
If she's a heel.
Now switch it. How many top stars you have on Raw that comes to heels?
Top heels.
Your mind.
Seth Rollins.
And
Kevin Owens.
And
Bobby Lashley's a babyface now, so he's out of the equation.
you can't count Omos as a top heel.
Because he's not a top heel yet.
What I'm saying is you have to have a brand extension, because here's the deal.
Sheamus, another good one.
Your heels are more driven on SmackDown than the believable heels that are on Raw.
Yeah.
And now you have Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and all these people going over to SmackDown.
We're gonna level the playing field here.
By
the
having
only way.
everything combined into the same show on multiple different nights, you can showcase more of your roster.
Yes.
And showcase the titles that aren't getting.
There was a
the
brief
recognition
period
that they need, and
before they re-solidified, I should say, the brand extension in 2016, 2017. There was a brief period covering for like the loss of John Cena where they were doing that.
Yeah.
They were fielding both shows and it worked out well.
When they did the wild card rule.
The only problem was that you still had 2 champions on each show, so it didn't really matter.
Because if you remember initially when it was just Raw, and then we're going to start Thursday night SmackDown. That's right. Thursday
was the extension of
Thursday night SmackDown.
And it was basically
on
just
UPN.
an extension of Raw.
Yeah.
Which
is what it was always supposed to be.
And then they separated everything, and then you had to start driving out certain stars so that your top stars could be showcased. Because you don't have enough fucking time.
Well, keep in mind, though, when they did that original brand split, it worked because they just got WCW. They just got a ton of new talent.
Yeah.
And that brand extension allowed them to really make more money at the time by being in 2 different places at once.
But
SmackDown was running its own tours.
Rather than
Raw
make
was
6 different belts for 30 different guys, they had 30 different guys chasing after 3 different belts.
Right.
Yeah.
But now's the perfect time. Yeah. Consolidate the shows, consolidate the belts, and that way next year for WrestleMania's 2 nights, your women's main event is your actual women's main event.
Yes.
Your men's main event is your actual men's main event. Your Royal Rumble winners get their showcase.
Now Maxie Boy is dropping some F-bombs.
Sorry, that's what we do here. Hold on. We have a Ghostly Nightmare. I apologize. I don't mean to speak off topic, but I just want to say I missed the Fiend. He was doing amazing things.
I also missed the Fiend.
I don't. I've never been a Bray Wyatt guy. I've made that clear. I've never been a Fiend guy.
That's a preference.
Yeah. As far as his work, absolutely. Brilliant in-ring work.
Promos.
What they did with him, just not my cup of tea.
Well,
and I'm the biggest Undertaker fan in the world, and it still didn't get over with me.
See, and that's the thing, is that Vince McMahon only knows how to build a supernatural heel one way.
Yeah.
If he would have let Bray Wyatt have more of that creative controls of storyline-wise, not just the gimmicks.
Once they set him on fire, it killed me.
Yeah, that was
Joy
stupid.
of Pro Wrestling says, I wish we would start getting secondary title matches pay-per-views. Well, here's the thing. If all of the titles, if there's only one world champion, then your Intercontinental U.S. Championship becomes important again.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. So your secondary champion is going to be, again, your next guy in line.
Now,
Exactly.
Your titles will get that recognition.
But if you think about the landscape of championships in the WWE, 2 world champions, 2 women's champions, 2 sets of tag champions, an Intercontinental champion,
24/7,
a United States champion, women's tag champions, the United States champion, the NXT champion, the NXT tag team champions, the NXT women's champion, the NXT women's tag team championships, the NXT North American championship, the NXT UK title, the NXT UK tag titles. It just on and on. Why not?
To the point that it's almost like there's 4 or 5 titles, and then there's a bunch of like participation trophies.
Well,
yes,
it's okay. Roman Reigns is the unified world champion right now.
Yes.
Let's consider a universe in which he isn't. Okay.
Okay.
Let's consider a world where he's just the SmackDown World Champion still. So your Raw World Champion would be who? Seth Rollins.
If it was a heel,
let's just say Seth Rollins. Okay. Now I got to figure out which main event I want to watch. Now I got to figure out which main event is more invested to me. Now I got to figure out why Seth Rollins isn't getting over to me, because everything Roman Reigns is doing is so good. It just dilutes the playing field so much. There was one world champion in wrestling forever for a reason.
Joy of Pro Wrestling shows us a Ghost is right. It says Ghost Nightmare.
When we're talking, whoa. First of all, maybe you need a better provider. No, actually, what I'm talking is not even true. Wow.
Can anyone see us? Are we still live?
Mine's fine.
I'm still live.
Mine is
nope. I'm stopped.
Fine.
What in the world is going on?
We're good. We're back.
We're back. All right.
Sorry about that,
y'all. All that shit I was just talking about, I was wrong. That is my internet fucking up. Anyway.
When you're talking about top heels, don't forget about Edge and the new group in the Judgment Day. I totally did space.
I have a dangly cross earring.
I remember that. You used to wear that.
I've still got them. I've got a ton of them in there. I absolutely love how Edge took the House of Black's gimmick and is doing it on SmackDown.
Also, everybody remember where it says that we're choppy, we are on like a 30-second delay. So it's not choppy with us right now. I don't think
we are anymore. I think it's just the Wi-Fi getting eaten up.
But that's no, I'm running live on mine, so.
It'll be all right.
Yeah, it still looks like it's running fine on my end, so. But anyway,
yeah.
So.
No, I love what Edge is doing with Malachi Black's gimmick.
Yeah, right? I love the new Taker. I love him a lot.
Malachi Black, that was the kid from the
Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
Malachi. Coming to get you, Malachi. All right, so it is time to get into our selections with AEW Double or Nothing. As you are all aware, we are at 7 points between the three of us.
Yes.
We're at 7 points. We're tied up. But we have 13 matches to start with
tonight.
Thank
you, Rob, for letting us know, brother.
And another pay-per-view next week to tack on even more points.
But if we don't get tied.
We're going to have somebody
Johnny
in the lead
beats
tonight.
us.
Yes, Johnny has to beat all three of us in the point race. And if that's the case, we stay exactly where we're at.
I didn't say he was a taker. I said he's trying to do the taker gimmick. The purple, the black.
Yeah, the lighting.
It's a taker
And
gimmick.
actually, I really do dig the Edge gimmick. I think that the verbiage, again, is a little but he delivers it well. He commits to it. And as a faction, they look fucking kick-ass together.
I can't get into a faction until they've been around for 6 months because I know how Vince McMahon likes to cut stuff.
Yeah, remember how the New Day was supposed to be the next nation?
How about Retribution?
When it
first cut out was huge.
Any day now. Retribution's going to get that payoff.
Yeah, they are.
Any day now.
They're going to get that payday. Brother.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about AEW.
Hold on, wait a minute. My grandson says you look like a bear. I am
a bear. He's Papa Bear. Rawr. Big old grizzly bear.
All right, don't ever let me roar on camera ever again. Don't smoke, don't drink.
All right, so here we go.
You look like a bear dog or you look like a bear dog?
I'm a dog bear. It's the difference. I have a dog named Bear, actually.
Man Bear Pig. All right, let's get back to the fucking situation at hand here.
Anyway, like we said, if Big Bad John calls more than the rest of us, we're still tied at 7.
All three of us.
Yes.
If he does not, however, it means our points get rolling and strolling, and we could offset the tied points race tonight. Skid Row, they were a flash in the pan. Hey,
no. That's the group with Swerve Scott and them from NXT. They brought him up and
Oh,
then they
that's
got rid
right.
of everybody.
Which was a shame.
You
because
thought
they
he
were-
was talking about 18
I thought he'd be like,
and
yeah, I was like, what do you mean Skid Row was a flash in the pan? How dare you?
I'm just
That
listening
shows
on my
you-
way here.
Guys get mad.
That shows you how very little I know about today's music. But I'm like, Skid Row's still cool.
Hey, man, hand me those 8 tracks over there in the corner.
Bruce Springsteen's still the boss. All right. Here we go.
Tanya says, Big Bad John, kick their ass, baby, get them points. LOL.
All right. First of all, I need to crack up in a cold Weiser.
By the way, don't drink, don't smoke. Just because we do, learn
Unless
from our
you're-
mistakes.
Unless you're fucking rad
Are
like
you the
me.
real Bigfoot?
Sorry.
Am I the real Bigfoot? Yeah, call me Mr. Sass. As in the Sasquatch.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
That's right. Baby Sass.
Does that make me Mr. T?
Makes you Baby Sass.
Yeti?
Yet. Jesus.
The Yeti?
Get on with the point,
Yes,
I
man.
call you the sack.
All right. The Sasquatch.
Well, this show went off the rails real
fuck.
fast.
All right. So here we go. All 13 matches for Double or Nothing laid out in front of us.
Also, for the subscribers in the chat, guess along with us.
Oh,
Make
yeah,
your
please
picks
do.
in the chat. I
Give us
love
your
to
picks.
engage. So
our opening match tonight, or pre-show match, but it's advertised on the main card, so we're going to cover it.
Yeah.
It's going to be Hookhausen, the team of Danhausen and Hook, versus Tony Nese and Mark Sterling.
now, before we take the picks on that,
I'm going to give you a little bit of background.
YouTube right now is promoting that as the
Pre-show.
pre-show match. Of course, you would.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So the team of Danhausen, the super gimmick, and Hook, the son of Taz and the shooter, against Tony Nese, who already has an in-ring victory in AEW over Danhausen,
We've been
and
cursed in the chat.
smart Mark Sterling.
We've been cursed in the chat. Sorry.
All right, don't you curse me. All right, so
You cursed
Hookhausen
enough.
or Tony Nese and Mark Sterling. Max?
Hookhausen.
I fucking know.
We all know that's going to be who the winner
I
is.
know. I don't have to like it.
Ah, he admitted it. He loves Danhausen.
That's not.
That's it. That's exactly what I
the
heard.
Words I said at all.
So Max is going with Hookhausen.
Luke.
I'm, of course, going with Hookhausen. Joy of Pro Wrestling says, "Guy, I got
That's right.
Hookhausen." Sorry,
That's
Caleb.
because he's smart.
Big Bad John.
Hookhausen.
Of course. All right, moving on.
You got to make your pick.
I did. I just said it.
That's what I thought you said.
Hookhausen.
That's the boy. That's the boy. You got to remember this for points. This
Tony
isn't for
says she-
pride.
I know.
Tanya said she has cursed us all.
Rob, I actually, since we were having so many technical difficulties today, I had not had a chance yet to watch those videos. I'm sorry. All right, our second advertised match is going to be Darby Allin versus Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, take them out.
This match was advertised later in the game. Darby Allin lost his qualifier for the Owen Hart tournament against
Adam
Jeff
Cole?
Hardy. No,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes,
against
yeah.
Jeff Hardy. Kyle O'Reilly lost his against Samoa Joe. So this match was thrown in last minute. There's not a whole lot of context, but they're both young and up-and-comers. Kyle O'Reilly's part of Red Dragon. Darby Allin has his communion, we'll call it, with
He's
Sting.
Sting, yeah.
You mean, of course I remember Nick Densmore. So, Darby Allin or Kyle O'Reilly?
Dragons versus Communion. I do like dragons, but I also like cheese and crackers. So, Darby Allin.
Okay, Max is going to say Darbs.
Cheese and crackers.
This one's tough for me because I feel like one of the other outcomes for a match we're going to predict later could be reflected here.
Ghostly Nightmare goes with Darby Allin.
Luke, what do you say, Darby or Kyle O'Reilly?
Here's the deal. Darby Allin can gain more than Kyle O'Reilly can from a win. So I'm going to go Darby Allin.
Okay.
Only because he's high off of that Jeff Hardy match.
Yeah.
Kyle O'Reilly, while is good, is a tag team wrestler. They're going to push him more towards the tag stuff. I got to go Darby Allin. Because how many more bangers does Sting have left in him? You got to push Darby by himself and continue to go.
I think I have to go with Kyle O'Reilly.
That's not a bad bet.
I think that if Kyle O'Reilly wins, they can go on to something with Red Dragon against Sting and Darby. It also reflects on their relationship with Adam Cole for a match.
Well, and like we said, there's not a lot of precedence behind this match.
No,
It's
there's
been thrown
really
together.
this is a who.
So
this
it's
could
a
be
shoot.
who's ever,
It's a
yeah.
shoot match, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say Kyle O'Reilly.
Mark Ross goes Kyle O'Reilly wins by interference, maybe.
Big Bad John, Darby Allin or Kyle O'Reilly?
Darby Allin.
Okay. You're all wrong.
Or we're all right.
Good to know. Jade Cargill, the undefeated women's TBS champion, will defend against Anna Jay.
Probably one of the better up-and-coming female athletes in AEW.
I think that she's this generation's Lex Luger, and no one knows it yet.
Yep.
But when they do know it, it'll be she's going to be the biggest star in the business in 2 years.
Would you like me to start?
Sure.
Undefeated streak continues. Anna Jay doesn't have that star power to end that undefeated streak yet. They need to bring somebody in, build it right. Anna Jay's already had a shot against her and lost.
Yep.
Got to go with the undefeated streak. Got to go with retaining champion Cargill.
I think I have to agree. I don't think that's even an argument. Max?
Yeah, I'm with you, fellas.
Same.
All right.
Yeah, it just
Unanimous
makes more
decision,
sense.
yeah. This one's going to be interesting. The House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Murphy.
Okay.
Taking on Death Triangle, the team of Pac and the Lucha Brothers.
This could go
These
either
guys
way.
have been going back and forth. House of Black's been getting a ton of momentum, but again, so is Death Triangle. And this is going to be one of their previews to what the trio's title landscape could look like.
Yes.
So do we put them on the baby faces in Death Triangle?
Well, here's the deal. Buddy Murphy, or Matthews is what he goes by now, Buddy Matthews, has yet to really do anything on television, wrestling-wise. With that statement alone,
Mama Needs Another Book says Death Triangle.
I am also going to go – wait. No. I'm going to go with the House of Black.
So am I. I think House of Black, I think they need to win more than Death Triangle does. Max?
Yeah, I'm with you fellas there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't trust Mama there. I know that she don't shoot.
And Big Bad John.
House of Black.
House of Black. All right, another unanimous pick.
Although going to be a banger.
Yes. All right. America's Top Team, the team of Scorpio Sky, the current reigning TNT champion, and his tag team partner Ethan Page, along with
Paige Van Zant from the UFC.
are going to take on Kazarian, Sammy Guevara, and Ty Conti in a 6-person tag match.
Here's the deal. I say that Tay Conti gets tapped out by Paige Van Zant, so I'm going to go with America's Top Team.
So am I. I don't even think that's an argument. I think that they're not going to risk. While Sammy could get a pin and get another shot at the TNT title, I think it's time to move on from Sammy. I think it's time for Scorpio Sky to open up.
I think we're going to start pushing Frankie Kazarian versus Scorpio Sky.
Yeah.
So I got to go with Ethan Page's team. Yes.
Agreed. Max?
I think that I am so sick of 6-man tag matches.
Well, there's 2 already on this card.
Don't worry.
I'm just going to go with you guys on that one.
All right, American Top Team. Big Bad John.
Same thing.
Yeah.
All right.
It's hard to
6-man
All right.
tag
deny
matches
that.
and triple threat matches.
Here
Get
we
the
go.
Fuck out.
Here we go. Because now we're getting into the business.
All right, here comes the big ones, folks. What Max said, Joy Pro Wrestling.
The Hardy Boys versus the Young Bucks.
Okay,
Now here's may I?
sure, take it.
The Hardy Boys are in their career renaissance in AEW. This could very well be their very last run as a tag team together.
Yes.
However, most people don't remember this. The Hardy Boys have already beaten the Young Bucks.
WrestleMania morning.
WrestleMania morning, then they flew in and made WrestleMania night. Could this be the night where the Hardys do the return for the Bucks and solidify them as the team that passed the torch to?
Okay, now I'm gonna counterpoint on that.
Don't smoke, don't drink.
And that is, do you let the Young Bucks get to win this early, or do you make them have to prove that they can beat the Hardy Boys in more than one match?
Okay. With that same argument, that's not the philosophy we saw against FTR.
No, but again, for a switch around, you know what I'm saying? It can
I
go
agree.
either way.
Rob said the Hardys, and I think that's the smartest thing he said all day.
Here's the thing, though. I think a lot of people expect the Hardys to win. And
I
that could
do
be
too,
where,
and
that
that
could be
could go
where
either
the
way.
spark
Or
either
comes
way.
into play.
What it comes down to is, are they ready to end their run yet?
A loss against the Bucks.
I think
Doesn't end their
would
run,
possibly
but
be
But he makes a
their
valid point.
downward.
If-
their
yeah,
downward turn.
If they
Yeah.
were going to
You know what I'm
lose
saying?
to the Bucks,
Yeah.
they would need to lose at a later stage.
Yes.
Right.
Where the Bucks could
That's
say
what I'm
we
saying.
were the
I
team
don't
that beat
think
the
the
Hardy
timing
Boys.
is right.
No,
That's
it's
a
not.
good point.
I'm going Hardys.
Once they do that, they're going to take their downward turn,
That's a
and it
good
won't be
point.
long before they're done.
Damn good point.
This is also the first big match that the Hardys have had together again. The first big match that the Hardy Boys as a team once again. I got to go Hardys.
I'm gonna go with the Hardy Boys as well.
I know you're conflicted.
I really am because I can see it going either way. I'll tell you what. Just
Rob Page says Hardy Boys mainly because I despise Gangrel.
Hey!
Gangrel won't be
I
there
love
tonight.
Gangrel.
If he is, it's an entrance only. He won't go to the ring.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to go with the Hardys, but not because I think they're going to win, because I don't want to risk the point.
Now hold on. You have the save.
I'm not using the save on the Young Bucks.
You're not going to use the save. Okay.
It'll be a cold day in hell before I use the save on the Young Bucks.
Ghostly Nightmare says, I can't believe I'm actually going to say this, but I'm going for the Young Bucks. I love the Hardys, but the Bucks have the
Here's the
great
thing.
talent.
Sometimes
think-
you got to be wrong.
I think the Bucks are going to win too, but I'm not risking the point on it.
I know I wouldn't either. And the Hardy Boys are the safe bet. They really are. Also, I'm kind of excited to see. This is the match I want to see.
Yeah.
It really is.
This is outside of MJF and Wardlow and the main event. These are the three main marquee matches.
Yes.
All right. So we've got the another 3-team tag team title match. Jurassic Express. I know. Trust me. Jurassic Express, the undefeated tag team champions currently, defend against Team Taz, which is going to be Ricky Starks
And
and
Powerhouse
Hobbs against Keith Lee and Shane Strickland.
Here's the deal. I'm going to say it. I'm going to go out first and say that we're going to have new tag team champions. I'm going with Swerve and Keith Lee.
See, I also am going to say we're going to have new tag team champions, but I'm going Team Taz.
Maximus?
Jurassic Express retains. We get new champs tonight. Hey, that's a bet. That's a bet.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Big Bet John, you're the tiebreaker here. Team Taz, baby. Team Taz.
Or
Luchasaurus did have a birthday last week.
could be an early birthday present.
Late birthday. present.
Before you make your
Late
thing, we've
birthday
got a lot
present.
of people in the chat saying definitely getting new champs.
Definitely getting champs.
I think the experiment with Lucha Express has, no,
Lucha Express?
a Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
I think the experiment's run its course.
I definitely think we're going to
I think we're going to get new champs tonight. Team Taz is an established team. However, you can't knock that they're pairing Keith Lee and Shane Strickland well together,
Yes.
and that they make aesthetically a very cool tag team.
Yes.
But do you put the tag titles on Shane Strickland, who's there? This is really his varsity time there. Ricky Starks, baby. Ricky Starks. You shut your yap about Ricky Starks.
You don't need another belt. He has one.
I'm gonna go with Keith Lee.
All right.
So that is a split decision down
That's
the
a
board.
split decision all across.
Ghostly Nightmare going with Jurassic Express.
All right, here we go. Another, Jesus Christ, another multiple man.
Oh,
fuck.
sorry. Joy of Pro Wrestling also went Lee and Swerve.
See, y'all are wrong. Got to be Team Taz. Tell you. All right, we have the Jericho Appreciation Society,
Jesus Christ.
which is Chris Jericho, Jake Hager,
me,
Daniel Garcia,
me.
and what's the tag team name? I don't even remember those other two guys.
Oh, 2.0.
2.0 against LAX, Eddie Kingston, and Proud and Powerful,
And
as well as John Moxley and Daniel Bryan.
yes,
Brian Daniels.
I'm going Eddie Kingston all the way. I got to go against Jericho's team. I have to. I don't want to, but I'm not using my save for fucking Chris Jericho either. So
Okay, Max.
that's my call.
Yeah, I was never a Fozzy fan. He stole that name from the Bears, so fuck him.
How dare you? I'm
Waka.
going Jericho Appreciation Society. Would you like me to tell you why?
You're wrong. You like to be wrong.
Hold on. All across the board,
You're wrong, and
When-
you like to be wrong.
when Jericho was a heel, he lost the first football fuckery match.
Yes.
When he was a babyface, they won
Yes.
the second football fuckery match,
Okay.
but they lost War Games.
Yes.
So,
As a face.
in order to keep Jericho's heat and continue him as one of the top heels leading into a singles program with somebody, I got to go Jericho Appreciation Society.
Jericho doesn't need to win to stay on. He's fucking Jericho.
Well, I agree with that, but it's not just about him. It's about the young guys, too.
But
The guys in his group. I get what you're saying.
And maybe see where you're
it
going.
doesn't hurt the Blackpool Combat Club to lose.
Well,
Right.
especially if Jericho doesn't take the pinfall at the end of the day.
Right.
I mean, you could have one of 2.0 get beat or them beat
One
one of
fighting
LAX
powerful,
or
exactly.
something like
so,
that.
So I'm saying the Jericho Appreciation Society.
All right.
Gots to. Big Bad John.
I'm gonna go with Jericho.
Atta boy!
Yeah.
I know I liked you. All right. Britt Baker will go up against Ruby Soho in the women's final of the Owen Hart tournament. Now, here's the thing. Britt Baker's been arguably the top AEW women's star since AEW started. Ruby Soho kind of fell off after her debut, but this could be the position she needs to be in to be elevated to that next step.
Correct.
And if you were going to elevate her, Jade Cargill's a heel. You've got a built-in program right there between Jade and Ruby for the TBS title.
Correct.
Or you have Britt Baker go over, solidify herself as the top heel again. Then you've got your built-in program for the winner of Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa for the main women's championship.
I'm going to go with Dr. Britt Baker.
So am I. I think that Ruby Soho is going to give her a great match, but I do not see Ruby Soho beating Britt Baker.
Not the Owen.
No.
She's not going to win the Owen.
Nope.
We'll go with Baker as well.
Big Bad John says Britt Baker.
Doctors usually go to college for like 7 years, so she's probably going to outsmart her opponents.
True.
You know? So, yeah.
You know what's crazy? Just a
Go
quick
with
side bet with her. Her dental practice, she still actively runs it.
Yeah.
So,
dentists go to school even longer.
so she flew to her office yesterday to do an emergency root canal, then got back on a plane and flew back to Vegas so she could wrestle tonight. And you got to respect that.
Yeah, you
fucking
do.
work-
The
work
hustle,
ethic.
man. Respect the hustle.
That's how you take care of your patients.
That's right.
You can teach my doctor a lesson.
My doctor.
John says go with Britt. Robert says, John, you have no vote. All right. In the men's final,
All right.
we have Adam Cole, baby, versus the Samoan submission machine and current reigning Ring of Honor television champion, Samoa Joe.
We'll get to it, John.
We'll get to that, John. Adam Cole.
Adam Cole, baby.
When I think Owen Hart and I look at the two men,
You
Adam
think
Cole.
Adam Cole. Plus, with the interference they've been doing with Sanjay Dutt and
They're
Jay
barred for
Lethal,
ringside.
doesn't matter. Samoa Joe gets screwed out, doesn't hurt him
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Adam Cole's got to win.
He's also the champion of Ring of Honor's TV title. So.
Exactly. Max?
Yeah.
Adam Cole, Big Bad John?
Same.
Adam Cole.
That's pretty unanimous.
All right. So we're going to recap just because we got asked, is the Wardlow fight still happening? As of right now, there is nothing definite. We don't know. But for the sake of the advertised match, we are still going to make a prediction for MJF and Wardlow.
And I'm pretty sure that's probably unanimous.
Does anybody here think that Wardlow's not going to win?
Nope. Wardlow will win this.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
to get away from MJF and for him to be signed with AEW. Unless Wardlow's just not re-signing.
Yeah.
And there's something we don't know. Regardless, and here's the deal, whoever they put up against Wardlow, if they have to replace MJF, is also going to lose. Because Wardlow's going to make a statement that it didn't matter if it was MJF or this guy or Goldberg or the other guy. This is my company.
Exactly.
Wardlow all the way.
All right. For the main AEW Women's Championship,
This
we
is
have
gonna be
reigning
good.
and defending AEW Women's Champion going up against former NWA Women's Champion Serena Deeb. Now, I want to make one quick point here.
The tennis player?
This
Serena
goes
Williams.
back farther. If you really look at the tail of the tape, Serena Deeb was part of CM Punk's.
I was just about to say the same shit.
Serena Deeb was part of CM Punk's Straight Edge Society.
Yes.
Right? This could be the night where she takes the belt, Punk takes the belt, and they plan for something
Down the road.
down the road with the two of them. So keep that in mind.
I have a prediction for the Punk match, but I'll get there
So
when
do
we
I.
get there.
However, I have to say Thunder Rosa's going to retain.
Is that who you're going with?
That is my bet. Thunder Rosa.
Well, I mean, we're all entitled to our opinion.
Uh-huh. You're
And
going to
I
say
just-
Serena Deeb?
I just happen to share your opinion, so I'm going to
Okay.
go Thunder Rosa
All
as
right.
well.
Yeah. Max?
Yeah, Thunder Rosa.
Okay. Big Bad John.
Thunder Rosa.
The Thunder Roll.
All right. We've got a lot of tandem. Not very many differences going. It's a lot of points for us at
There
the end
is
of
a
the day,
lot
but
of points.
we've got a couple of differences.
13 of them to
All
be
right.
exact.
Here's our main event.
All right, before we get to that main event, if you haven't subscribed yet,
Please do so. And also, if you're watching right now, smash that like button for us.
please. If you haven't subscribed, remember, all you have to do to get in on the conversation is hit that subscribe button, wait 5 minutes, and you're in.
Make sure you
It's
share.
that quick.
If you haven't shared, share. If you haven't shared, share again.
Also,
Please.
check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. You can also send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com.
And
Max's
you can
phone
contact-
number is 618-7.
He uses the same joke every week, and it still makes me chuckle.
I just get one number
I was
closer.
trying to do the same thing to him. He just cut me off.
Excuse me.
Thanks, sir.
All right, here we go. Main event time.
All right, here we go.
Adam Page, reigning, defending
Don't
AEW
stop.
World Heavyweight Champion, defends the championship against CM Punk in the main event. Now,
There's a lot
Adam
riding on this.
Page was destined to be AEW World Champion when the company started.
Yes.
But the company that started ain't the same company anymore.
No.
Tony Khan has paid a ton of money to bring CM Punk in. CM Punk's been on a tear since his debut, virtually undefeated, with the exception of one loss against MJF.
You also got to add in the fact that we're going to have the Forbidden Door pay-per-view in Chicago. What better way than have CM Punk enter as AEW?
And a returning Kenny Omega on the rise.
Also, like I said earlier, for those of you who weren't here and are here now, AJ Lee is the latest guest on Renee Young's podcast. They happen to be in Vegas. She could also
Be a factor
be
in
a
this
factor
match
in
some
this
capacity.
match.
Before we all take our picks, I would very much love to hear you guys. Who do you think is going to win, Adam Page or CM Punk?
It's very important, yes.
Well-
Even though I kind of have an idea where I'm going with it.
See, here's the thing. I've got a prediction, but it's a fucking wild one. And it's one that I'm almost considering using my save on. Almost.
Almost. Also, thank you for the like.
Robert Page says Adam Page defends and wins, walks away world champion.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Not out of the realm of honestly,
It's a good way to put Paige over,
that nobody loses. Here's the thing: nobody loses here.
mainly because it's my last
If
name.
Adam Page wins, Adam Page says he beat CM Punk and he's still AEW champion.
Yes.
If CM Punk wins, he came back from an 8-year hiatus and became world champion.
I
There's
beat the best you
literally-
have.
There's literally no bad way to spin this. It's about what you want the product to look like going forward.
Yes.
Do you want Adam Page? And let's be fair, his world title run hasn't exactly been featured heavily at the top the way that Jericho's was or Moxley's
Correct.
was.
Correct.
Even Omega, Omega's title reign spanned 3 different companies.
We've still got only one vote for Paige. Anybody else got a
Come on, John.
opinion? Come on, guys.
Ghostly Nightmare.
Give us some
Anybody
content
out
here.
there? If not, we're going to get in the dead air and we have to make our predictions. I don't like CM Punk. He snubbed Zach and when asked for an autograph. You know what? I have
here we go.
genuinely. Oh, here we
Hangman
go.
retained Joy Pro Wrestling. Hangman retains. I wanted Punk to be champ months ago, but I think they wasted time.
Okay, I could see that argument. However, he's only been in the company since what, October or November? When he returned, right?
Whatever the big pay-per-view was in
Yeah,
Chicago.
they took their time.
All out.
They took their time. They built him right. I could see you wanted to pull the trigger earlier. I'm just saying, I don't feel like enough time is ran. I don't feel like time is ran out exactly.
Right. So
But that's a great point. It's a great argument.
so
too.
we've got 2 for Hangman Page so far.
Well, Mama earlier said Punk will get the edge over him.
Okay, so Mama goes Punk.
You would.
All right, guys.
Here we go.
Selection
Who
time.
wants to start? Punk or Page?
Max Fury. Adam Page
Punk or
retains or
Page?
CM Punk takes the win.
He's going Punk.
Going Punk.
It's actually not a bad guess.
Big Bad John. Does CM Punk win, or does Adam Page retain and defend AEW from the likes of
John Wagner goes Punk.
I'm going to go Punk as well.
Big Bad John says Punk. Luke, the Big Dog Williams. Adam Page or CM Punk.
All right, here we go. With the Forbidden Door pay-per-view coming up.
Are you still in my thing?
And Punk going into Chicago as the AEW heavyweight champion to take on whomever from NJPW. Marketing-wise, it's smarter.
Yeah.
It really is. Storyline, smarter. Really is. However, Adam Page beating CM Punk would be huge.
And would do more for Page.
And would prove that Page is the champion that he says he is.
Not to mention,
So what?
CM Punk can walk into Chicago at any time and still be a megastar.
Correct.
That's an argument that needs to be
But
considered.
with the belt, and 10
forget
times
about it,
more
yeah.
over. Here's my thing. I am going to go CM Punk. But I am also going to go with Adam Page because I am going to use the
fucking
first save. The first save, one of my two.
Yep.
Right here, as in, if it doesn't really matter who wins, I'm going to get a point regardless. However, if you want my personal opinion, I think that it should be Adam Page. If you want my professional opinion, it's better for business if CM Punk wins the title.
Agreed.
So,
Now-
I'm going Punk, but I'm using my
But
save.
Luke's playing his first save.
Yeah.
I'm going to write that down. Now, see, here's where I'm conflicted. Because if I were booking, and this is strictly from my own perspective, if I were booking Forbidden Door, the only match that makes sense outside of Okada and Daniel Bryan would be Kenta and CM Punk. And the only way you give that match any more levity than it already has is if Kenta fucks CM Punk out of the belt.
It makes sense.
But
Would you rather wait for Punk to get the title and then have Kenta come out and mess him up?
No, because I want Punk to go into that match. Kenta's frustrations with Punk are already solidified in real life. Kenta already genuinely dislikes CM Punk. That's a real life story you could tell. CM Punk doesn't have any reason, as he stated multiple times, to dislike Kenta. So if you're going to tell that story on paper, you got to give Punk a reason to want Kenta. And the only thing you do with that is have Kenta come out tonight and sneak CM Punk with the fucking go to sleep.
You also promote
knock
the
him out
pay-per-view.
1, 2, 3, and you've already got a built-in marquee match for your next pay-per-view, which
Correct.
isn't something that AEW does a lot, but that's the only way that I can see it happening. It's what I would do. It's the only way that I see it working.
Hello, Wolfie.
So, on those grounds alone,
You should fucking say, aren't you?
no, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm voting Adam Page
To retain.
without using my save.
Right on.
On the grounds that Kenta fucks CM Punk. If I'm wrong, that's a point I lose, and I'm fine with that.
Now, the good part for me is if
So
Punk
Luke
does
is
win,
going either way.
but if Punk wins, my save still stays intact.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So
Yes.
I have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
So I'm going to be the odd man out. I'm going to say Adam Page retains
All right.
with the interference from Kenta.
Don't drink no smoke, Poke. Thank you, Rob. Also, if you haven't already, please smash the shit out of that like button. We really
Do it.
appreciate it.
Do it, hose.
Like I said, in the next coming weeks, we're going to have a little different look to the program.
Yeah,
We're going to have a lot more stuff we can do.
the reason we were delayed again today, just to recap, we're working on integrating some new technology with the show
Yes.
that will allow us to do graphics, cut-ins with videos and stuff. Some stuff we've really been brainstorming.
John, does that mean you hit something with a hammer?
Today
Yeah,
was
you're done.
today was the first. Today was the first attempt. Obviously, it didn't go the way we wanted, but that's okay. It was the first attempt. So, but
Yes.
thanks everybody for your patience today. We know the stream got started late. Thank you so much for
Well,
sticking out with us.
Here's the deal. It worked before we went live. Like, we had the video going, we had everything going, and then when the video went live the first time, everything cut out.
Yeah.
Now, here's the deal with this new technology. We're also going to be able to start using the Skype app and bringing you interviews.
Yeah, and I'm working on a big interview for our first one. I won't say it publicly, but it's something that I already told you. I've been working on it for a little while, and I think I've got it lined out. We just have to be able to make it happen.
Also, and more importantly, it's going to be better for the show.
Yeah.
It's going to add more content.
Yes.
We're going to actually be able to get wrestlers' perspectives because here's the deal. We don't want them a gimmick.
No, we want
you on the show. We want the person on the show. Also, I am also working on something, as in maybe a theme song. Yeah. Personally written by a Grammy-nominated rock artist. I'm not going to give the name.
Who has done a theme song for a WWE superstar, no less.
Yes. Also was on a movie soundtrack.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm not going to name the movie because I don't want to say this because it's still in the developmental stages.
We're working really hard on getting you guys
I'm also going to try to get an interview with him to tell his side of the story on a certain thing that happened with the band he was in.
Yep.
That will be the first time it's been spoken of since it happened 10 years ago.
That'll happen here if we can dot the I's and cross the T's.
I'm working on it. I promise you it'll be worth the wait. Yeah. Stay tuned to Pro Wrestling Throwdown for all updates on everything.
Also, might as well talk about how we're planning on expanding the channel.
Yes.
We've been talking about this forever, about doing a movie show. Movie Throwdown, right?
Yes.
Whatever we want to call it.
Which will still be on this channel.
Yep, it'll still run from this channel, but we're going to break down some of our favorite movies, do watch-alongs, different stuff that we want. We originally had planned on doing it with, I think, Kong versus Godzilla, but we just couldn't get the channel where we wanted it to yet.
Yes.
With the new subscribers now and the new technology, it's going to be really cool. We've already got the first movie picked out. We're not going to tell you what it is, but it's a classic, especially if you love professional wrestling.
Also, what we'll be able to do after that inaugural episode takes place, on Pro Wrestling Throwdown, you will get an option of 3 movies in the chat. This is where the subscribers come in.
Yep.
You will be able to vote. We will pick which movie got the most votes, and we will drop. That video will not be a live stream. That video will be us shooting on the movie for about 15, 20 minutes, uploading it. I'm gonna say Friday nights.
Yeah.
Let's say we'll drop it on Fridays, and then that Sunday come back to the live stream, and we will discuss what your opinions of our opinions are, and we'll start the whole rigmarole over again.
We're also planning on integrating one more Thursday night fight a month.
Yes.
If our schedules all line out the way we had a lot of fun doing that. It'll be another thing where we just take some topics, we throw it out for an hour on Thursday nights. So keep an eye out for that.
Sweet.
And channel's getting bigger. We're getting bigger. Let's do this quick recap of our selections for Double or Nothing tonight. And who knows, we might even do the show's not going to be over till midnight, so I'm not going to promise that. Every time AEW has a pay-per-view and we're all together, we're like, oh yeah, after the show we'll do a break-in and we'll talk about it. But the shows are 5 hours long.
They're insanely long.
And I start this show after a 12-hour shift every day. So we never quite make it that far.
No.
All right, so to recap, match number 1, Hookhausen versus Tony Nese and Mark Sterling. We're all agreed, Hookhausen.
Yes.
Darby Allin versus Kyle O'Reilly. I'm the odd man out in selecting Kyle O'Reilly. My 3 counterparts here have selected Darby Allin. Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay, unanimous and Jade Cargill. House of Black versus Death Triangle, unanimous, House of Black. America's Top Team versus Kazarian, Sammy, and Ty Conti, unanimous again with America's Top Team. Hardys versus the Young Bucks, unanimous, Hardy Boys. Jurassic Express versus Team Taz versus Lee and Strickland. Max stands alone with Jurassic Express. I stand alone with Team Taz. Luke and Big Bad John, I have to make a correction here in my notes, have chosen Keith Lee and Shane Strickland. For the LAX and Blackpool Combat Club versus the Jericho Appreciation Society, that's me and Big Bad John with JAS. LAX and Blackpool goes to Luke and Max. Unanimous with Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho with Britt Baker. Unanimous Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole, Adam Cole. Unanimous Wardlow versus MJF. Unanimous Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb, and I'm the odd man out standing with Adam Page against CM Punk. However, Luke has opted to use his save no matter what.
Yes.
Real quick, let's take 10 seconds. Does anybody want to make any changes?
I'm good with everything I picked.
Everybody comfortable?
I'm good.
I'm solid. Right. I'm solid as a rock, guys. There's our Double or Nothing selections. 13 points total on the line. $1 million is on the line, and one man's life is on the line.
He's not going to win.
Oh,
He's going to win. What's the movie? If anybody out there can name the movie, we'll tweet about it, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, we do that. Put it on Facebook.
We'll shout you out on Facebook if you can name the quote from that movie. All right.
No Google.
That being said, we've talked about the MJF holdout.
Yes.
We've celebrated the marriage of one Charlotte Flair.
Yes.
We've made our selections when it comes to Double or Nothing.
Thank
we
you
have
very
a compliment
much.
from Ghost Member. You guys are so very awesome and amazing. We certainly appreciate that. Now it's time for everyone's favorite segment here on the show. It's time for birthdays
and bullshit.
Max, take it away. Hold on. Can one of you kick Max on the butt for me?
John,
yes.
what did I do to you?
Yes, I can.
John Wagner hits with Ready to Rumble.
John Wagner is going to get a tweet from our
Nice.
official Twitter page. You can only find that tweet if you follow us at Pro Wrestling TD. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. You can send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and here we go with birthdays and bullshit, Max.
Take it away.
All right, we got a handful of wrestlers, couple of handfuls of celebrities, and then I'm actually going to skip on a little bit of bullshit, but I got something fun. We're going to get to it.
Okay.
All right, we're going to start out with some wrestling birthdays. Today, you remember Nitro Girl Spice?
Nitro Girl Spice.
Yeah.
Is that one of the two broads that Jericho hooked up with when she was one of the Nitro Girls that she would never tell?
Probably.
He would never tell Bischoff about.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't surprise me.
So I'm going to say she's probably 45.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go with 44.
How about she will be 49 years young?
Wow.
Hot dog, hot
Caleb.
diggity dog.
Point, Caleb.
You're welcome.
All right, also today, a couple more.
Hold on just a second. Tweet is going up for John Wagner
As we speak,
on Twitter. Nailed it.
crushed it. Don't drink, don't smoke.
Yeah,
All
don't
right.
do any of this.
Also today
More for
we
us.
have Brian Kendrick. Has a
Ooh.
birthday today.
Oh, that fucking idiot.
Ryan Kendrick.
He's a flat earther, so I don't particularly care. But for the sake of the argument, I'll say he's 47.
No.
Don't think so?
No.
He was 20s in 05, 17 years ago.
42.
What'd you say?
47 is my guess.
How about 43? Point Luke.
Wow.
All right.
It's closer to my age.
Let's see. Ow, my hole. It's Nia Jax's birthday
Oh,
today.
God, who cares?
I'm
Nia Jax-
kind of curious about the status of his hole. He sounded like he was hurt.
Let me see your hole, Max.
Let me see the whole hole.
37?
36.
Oh, 38.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
And, he's probably just small enough to fit in a hole. It's Hornswoggle has a birthday today.
Ooh,
Mr.
Swoggle.
Dylan Post.
That's a little deceptive because I think he was already in his mid-20s when he
Yeah,
started.
and he looks like he's 12. So
46? 45. I'll say 45.
I'm going to go 43.
How about he will only be 36?
That
He's
sounds about
36
right.
today.
That sounds about right.
So he would have been, would have been 20, 21, I guess, back
Yeah.
in 0506.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think he may have started in 08 or 09.
I'm going to say he might have been a little younger.
So,
than
okay,
that, too,
I think you're right.
All right. Let's see. Tomorrow, the 30th, we'll have Jake the Snake Roberts.
72.
I don't think he's in his 70s yet. 60.
How about 67? Good call.
Yeah.
Point by default.
You're welcome.
It's 32 now.
Jake,
3-1 now.
Hey, you insult the snake.
The 31st,
He's the guide.
Montez Ford has a birthday.
Ooh, Montez Ford is a member of a tag team on.
Private Party, right?
No.
Damn it.
Fucking Street Profits.
No. 34.
35.
Might be younger
How
than that.
about 32?
I was going to say
No
33 initially. I knew it was a little bit younger.
I know he's young because Bianca's really young too.
Yeah.
On the first, James Storm had a birthday.
Ooh.
Cowboy James Storm.
Cowboy James Storm,
46.
one half of America's Most Wanted, one
Uh-huh.
half of Beer Money, former NWA Mid-South Heavyweight Champion, former Impact World Champion, had 2 matches at NXT. Definitely in his 40s.
46.
I'm going to say a little younger. I'll probably be wrong. 43.
How about 45 point
Oh.
by default?
Take it.
I was close.
You were close, but I was closer. Go fuck yourself.
Let's see. On the second, AJ Styles has birthday.
AJ Styles, also a flat earther. And is deceptively old. Most people don't understand that. 46.
45.
45.
45 on the button. 48.
Point Luke.
Ha!
Also on the second, we have a few more, starting with Lex Luger.
Ooh, Luger's in his 70s, I would think.
70.
Well, no.
73.
60, just to shoot a little lower.
64. Good
64,
call.
yeah.
Good call.
I remember that Sting is only, I think, 66 now, or 65. Or actually, he may be 63. I know him and Luger very close.
Also on the second, we have a Velvet Sky.
1/3 of the beautiful people.
This Billy Ray's woman.
Ex-woman. They're
Ex-woman.
divorced now.
Well, that's a shame. These
Also,
are champs.
did you know that Beautiful People were the highest rated act on Impact ever?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to guess
45.
17 years ago would have been 05. 16's 06.
She's definitely not 24.
46.
How about 41? No
41.
point. No point.
Wait a minute.
What?
Beautiful People started in Impact in 06 or 07. That would have been 14 years ago. So she'd have been 23?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Impressive.
Last
Yes.
wrestling birthday on the
That
second,
must be nice.
Grado.
Great.
Grado.
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 Oh, I thought it was the guy from Star Wars.
The only professional
Grado.
wrestler to ever been sued by Madonna.
Yeah.
That's a true story. He's,
I think he's younger, do you think?
I don't know. Hold on. When was 08? 14 years ago? I'm going to say 41.
I'm going to go a little higher, and I'm going to say 43.
How about you're both wrong? It'd be 34.
There's no way Grado's only 34.
That's what the internet says.
Hold on. We'll
That
check it
means he
just to
would have
make sure.
been-
I was surprised myself.
Yeah.
He'd have been like 19 or 20
But
when he was
anyway,
on
On
Impact. Wow.
On the 4th, we remember the great Gorilla Monsoon, 1937 and 1999.
The gorilla position in
Yep.
professional.
He'll be 34 years old.
That's crazy. He's
Yep.
only 2 years older than me.
Yep.
So you're going to learn to trust me, damn.
No, it's not that I don't trust you. That's just surprising.
That's surprising. Who we talking?
Gorilla Monsoon. The gorilla position
Uh-huh.
in professional wrestling is actually named after Gorilla Monsoon. Before, it was just the production position. But because he was always in front watching the cameras and running the sound
Hey,
team,
Rob.
Gorilla Monsoon
Gorilla Monsoon's dead.
But yeah, one of the most storied announcers, one of the historic. I mean, if you want to look at his historic career, one of the first major standouts that weren't part of the NWA initially, in the early 50s, late 60s.
I know he says.
Will definitely be missed, and one of the greatest commentators. ever.
Also, he had the big showdown with Vader right before WrestleMania 12.
Yep.
Where he was attacked. They were planning a match, but when he come back, his health was too failing, and they didn't get the Vader
They
gorilla
didn't,
match.
they didn't get the
wanted.
return they wanted.
All right, let's get into some celebrity birthdays. Have a little fun. But first, our weekly update. Roman Reigns today has been champion for 635 days by my count.
I
If
mean,
you got something else, let me know.
that's easy to be. It's easy to do if you only defended it 11
He's
times.
had the
last 3
belt
years.
since August 30th, 2020.
Jesus
Also, if we
Christ.
want to throw a big number out there on our Pro Wrestling
Uh-huh.
Throwdown Facebook page, you might have seen it. Roman Reigns has officially been over 900 days since the man has taken a pinfall. Roman Reigns has not lost a match due to pinfall
Mhm.
in over 900 days.
635
Hulk.
days makes him the.
As a Hulk Hogan-like.
He's third or fourth on the list right now, I think.
Yeah.
I want to say the fourth longest reigning WWE
I
champion.
think that's where he is right now.
Because there's Bruno's
But
second reign, but those count as
And
one.
also, if
Hogan
depends on
and-
if they decide to split it up, once he unified the titles.
That's true.
Because some people a lot of people are splitting it up.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on. Today, Danny Elfman has a birthday.
One of the greatest composers ever. He is one of Tim Burton's closest friends. He has done over like 100 motion pictures when it comes to all inclusive, not to mention television and animation projects. He has published 4 or 5 different fully completed works that are available for symphonics. And I believe that Danny Elfman is now in his 70s.
71.
72 just for conjecture.
How about a 70?
70. Okay,
Wow.
so we were both there on
On the
point.
Yeah. So on the 30th, tomorrow, Idina Menzel has a birthday.
Idina Menzel is a top-notch Broadway star, played the very first Elphaba in Wicked that hit main theaters in Broadway in 2006.
Also Frozen.
She was the voice of Elsa in Frozen. She was also the very first Maureen in Rent, where she actually was one of the only actors to maintain that part for the film recasting, and she's done the 15th and the 20th anniversary Broadway revivals. And I want to say that Idina Menzel would now be late 50s. So 55.
I'm going to go 48.
How about 51? Good call.
51.
Luke.
Wow. Good for her.
Yeah.
See, also on the 3rd, Winona Judd. God bless Naomi. May she rest in peace.
Yes. Winona Judd has got to be in her 60s. As her mom was, 70-something when she passed?
I can't tell you. I wish I could, but I think I can't get there.
Well, go ahead.
66.
I'm going to say 58.
Winona Judd will be 58 years
Hot
old.
damn, I'm good.
That puts Caleb at 5-3 with a handful left. Couple handfuls
How's it
left,
taste,
depending on how many fingers you have.
How's it taste?
You wanna fill that one?
See, no one likes to point out that he would not be champ if he didn't cheat, interference, etc. No biggie. Well, he wouldn't be champ if the guy who booked it that way decided that
Also,
he
he
wouldn't be champ.
wouldn't be heel if he didn't cheat.
But again, yeah, you don't want a heel to win clean all the time.
No.
Also, Roman Reigns is, genetically speaking, probably the close to a genuine specimen in the WWE. He's got the lineage, the familial history. He's put in the time. He debuted right out of FCW when he was selected with the Shield in 2012, which means he's been on the run for 10 years. He's main evented almost as many main events in WrestleMania as John Cena has. He has held the title collectively longer now than most of John Cena's entire title reigns, and he's one of the only other superstars outside of the 3 that always get mentioned from wrestling that transition to film successfully, one being The Rock and one being John Cena. The third person isn't even somebody most of you would guess, but I'll give you a crack at it. I would say that Roman Reigns is doing just fine and has earned his accolades as being the undefeated, undisputed, unified WWE Universal World Heavyweight Champion.
A lot of people don't
Go
know
ahead.
that Roman
Acknowledge him.
Acknowledge.
A lot of people don't know that Roman Reigns was actually he was born in a test tube, kind of like Judge Dredd, where they just combined.
Took all
Like,
the best
because-
pieces
yeah,
of the
they took
Samoans.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, if anybody can guess, I'll leave you with this. The wrestler that I'm thinking of is the very first professional wrestler to ever be a member of SAG. If you can guess the wrestler that I'm thinking of when it comes to transitioning from wrestling to film the appropriate way, you'll get another tweet shout out by
I
me.
know who it is.
I do too.
Who?
I'm not going to say
No, say it, please.
Roddy Piper.
Correct.
That's why I was. Yeah.
Yep.
Movie.
What's Roddy Piper's greatest movie?
His greatest movie?
Greatest movie.
They Live. That's
That's
without
right.
saying.
Not even a fucking argument.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, let's move on. On the 30th, Clint Eastwood has a birthday.
147 years old.
Higher.
No,
78?
82.
He will be 92
Jesus
years
fucking
old.
I was
Right.
off by 10, but I got the point. They Live was a
Luke,
great movie.
Fantastic.
5-4.
36.
36.
Yeah, 300 years ago.
The
Back when film was
31st.
black and white and black people couldn't be in them.
Also on the 31st, we have Colin Farrell and Leah Thompson.
Ooh, Colin Farrell. Always think he's older than he is, but he's actually younger than I always think he is. So I'm gonna say
At the same time, I know.
40. Well, you think he's older, but he's younger. I want to say 47.
I'm going to go 49.
46.
46. See, always
Yeah.
No
younger.
point. Still 5-4. Leah Thompson.
Ooh, she's up
She's Marty
there.
McFly's mom. You better
Uh-huh.
She's up there, but she's not.
put some respect on it.
65.
72.
How about 61?
Wow, she's younger than I thought she
Wow.
was.
Wow, good
Yeah.
for you.
Well, see,
Leah
what
Thompson.
happened is she got taken back in time.
Oh,
You know,
They messed with the space-time
back to the future,
continuum.
and so it took some years off.
gotcha.
Terrible. It's
Uh,
fucking terrible.
yeah.
job.
Outstanding.
That's what happened there.
Fantastic.
On the first, the great Morgan Freeman, God himself.
As old as he wants to be.
I would like to think that Andy got one for himself, but frankly, he just got fucked a lot.
Oh, man. Red was there. He knows.
I watched Andy fight as hard as he could.
No, I am not going to Cape Girardeau for the WWE show on
But
the 11th.
eventually, those
unfortunately.
skinheads stripped his pants down, took him from the front.
Make a fucking guess on the man's birthday.
70. Oh my God.
74.
Morgan Freeman will be 85
Wow.
years young.
I got that one.
Point, Luke.
I got
That's
that
right.
one.
5 to
motherfuckers.
5.
I'm still.
How many we got left?
2, 3, 4, 5. About 5.
All right, let's do it.
All right. God is actually on here again in the form
Jim
of
Carrey.
Alanis Morissette.
Oh.
Hell yeah, Kevin Smith's got. 55.
50, just to shoot a little lower.
48.
God damn it, that was
enough.
going to be my first fucking guess, too. That's all right.
That's because, again, it's because she's God. And
Yeah.
Doesn't age.
Just saying, he would be champ unless it happens, so therefore I cannot acknowledge him as my champ. Just trying to be funny. Well, you have to, because he is.
He is the
Acknowledge-
champ.
acknowledge
Regardless
him.
if he's your champ or not, he's the guy who carries the belts.
He's not my champion, okay?
Just like I don't want CM Punk to be my AEW champion, but he's going to be.
It's true. I don't want Matt Cardona to be my NWA World Champion, but he is.
He's doing a damn
So-
good job at it, too.
Here we are.
All right, just a few more, and then Caleb was going to read the really
Yes, you guys don't have to vamp. I gotta
story. So
check.
just chill out,
Guys.
guys, and get to it.
We'll
we
take
made
this-
this clear before. Wrestling days, I'm always cooking and stuff, so I got to run inside real quick. I'll be right back. We're going to take a brief intermission. You guys vamp. I'll be
All
right
right, then I'm going to go over something while you're doing this.
Okay, Max, shoot.
We got a couple. We got 4 or 5 more, and we'll and when we get back.
Whoever
Well,
the
we're-
whoever the president is also your president, regardless. Go ahead.
That's right. I was looking through.
Unless you're Canadian.
Looking through a bunch of different stuff, trying to find fun information, fun stories, and whatnot. Jake the Snake Roberts was on our birthday list, so I found the top 10 animals featured in the WWE.
Top 10 animals featured in
And,
WWE.
I haven't
Okay.
got through all of them yet, but I've read a couple stories. We're going to go over a couple. One of them I want Caleb specifically to read because you're going to love it. But one was who did I say that was? Coco Beware.
Coco Beware's bird.
Was the bird
Venezuela.
man originally, and he had the birds on his tights and whatnot, and eventually he come out with the bird
Frankie.
when he made it big to the WWE. It was actually his wife's idea to get Frankie the bird, and he talked to Vince. And Vince was like, "Yeah, let's do it," and they did it. Made a way bigger splash than they thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
had Frankie for 15 years.
Max is anaconda.
And then Frankie actually died in a house fire
The original Frankie, yes.
Yes, the original
We're
Frankie.
talking about Kobe wears.
It was his wife's idea to
Yeah.
get the bird to begin with, and it was really poignant to me because Frankie died in a house fire. Coco wasn't there. He came back. The house flames and everything. Yeah. He's a neighbor of his that he had never spoken to, never interacted with, was in the backyard crying his eyes out, screaming, I'm so sorry, I couldn't save your child. Frankie was in there screaming, let me out, let me out, let me out. And they thought it was his child.
Why are you telling us this horrible, depressing story?
No. It's the top 10 strangest animal stories in wrestling history.
Yeah. We're good.
That's so sad.
I know, but it's
so sad.
Also, it's very a lot of. If you're a wrestling fan, that's something you
don't know because they wouldn't tell you that. It's.
All right, we got a few more birthdays here, and then Caleb's gonna read another one for us.
Yes.
And he hasn't read it yet either.
No, I haven't.
Yes.
So it's gonna be spectacular.
Oh boy.
All right.
It really is.
Can't wait.
Tom Holland, Spider-Man, or Boyd, or
32.
Sure.
No, Tom Holland's
on the first.
25?
He will be 26. Good call.
Thank you very much.
All right. It is 6 to 5.
Not my Spider-Man.
Who's your Spider-Man?
Huh?
Who's
your Spider-Man?
Peter Parker.
You prick.
It's only because Mysterio told you.
No, I like the old TV show in the 80s. I like that guy.
All right. On the second.
Also, it's hard to beat Tobey Maguire.
We have 3 on the second, 1 on the fourth. We have Dana Carvey, Wayne Brady, and Justin Long.
Okay, well, Dana Carvey is 67 years old.
61 years old.
Dana Carvey is 67 years old.
67 on the button.
I even look like a brown-haired Garth with these glasses.
Wayne Brady.
Does Wayne Brady have to choke a bitch? Eat your sandwich, Dave.
I want to say he's up there.
Wayne Brady's
58.
53.
Oh, 50 on the nose.
Oh,
wow. We know what they say. Money don't crack.
That's right.
Last one on the second is Justin Long.
They know. Who?
Justin Long.
Who's that?
Dude from Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, that kid.
He
guy
was
that,
Creepers?
Yeah, he was the original.
All right.
I always think of him
from what's the movie where they start Accepted? Yeah.
Accepted. Yes.
Oh God, he's got to be in his 40s by now, right?
Waiting was really
Waiting. Yeah,
I'll say 40.
I'm gonna go 41.
How about 44? Point Luke.
Accepted.
7-1. With 1.
7-1.
Or I'm sorry, 7-6.
Oh, okay. What point are you going left?
Out of your goddamn mind.
Who's in the lead?
You are.
I am. All right. One more birthday left.
Last birthday. The lovely Angelina Jolie.
Ooh.
56.
53.
You blew it.
Damn.
She would be 47 years old.
Damn. Well, Luke takes the win finally.
It's only been 3 weeks.
Even a blind squirrel finds it out.
All right, we're going to have Caleb read this story, but before we have him read this story, we'd like to thank you for joining us on Pro Wrestling Throwdown today. Remember, always like, subscribe, share as much as you can. We have one more story left, but I want to say from now on, if you're not a subscriber,
you don't get to comment.
You don't get to comment on the chat. We're going to read this story, and then we're going to field 5 questions.
So have your questions in mind while I'm reading.
Yes.
All right.
So go ahead and read this.
So
this
I was
also
asked to read this aloud.
Falls under
the 5 wrestling animals and their chilling stories. Yeah, I did. You want me to read Matilda, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
For those of you who don't know, Matilda was the British Bulldogs mascot.
All right. I've never read this story before. The British Bulldogs, Davey Boy Smith, and the Dynamite Kid are hailed as one of the best tag teams of all time. Over the years, folklore has followed their name due to their wrestling prowess in ring. Due to their wrestling prowess in the ring and hijinks outside of it. In 1986, they debuted fan favorite sidekick, a British bulldog by the name of Matilda. She quickly captured the hearts of fans around the world as she accompanied Davey Boy and Dynamite Kid to the ring for all of their matches. On TV, she played a good distractor for her opponents, and in a storyline, she found herself being kidnapped in the middle.
Summarize that and get down to the Piper's Pit part.
No, I'm reading the whole damn thing. Okay. In the middle of a feud against the Islanders, Haku and Tama. Off-screen, misfortune followed her as well. We ran a piece about Matilda and her owners in the past. The stories we shared were not pretty. Before his untimely death, Roddy Piper had Jake the Snake Roberts for a 2-part interview on his show Piper's Pit. Having seen their fair share of debauchery and insane adventures on the road over the years, they opened up about a few tales on the show, many revolving around the British Bulldogs and their poor dog Matilda. Here are select excerpts from that interview.
Gotta do these in voice.
That's why I wanted him to do it.
At least the Jake voice.
I have to tell you what I did to Matilda, dude. I did a bad thing to Matilda. Davey Boy was a dick, you know? Yeah, so was the Dynamite Kid. Dynamite. He let Davey Boy stir it. Davey Boy was a shit creator, and Dynamite was the hammer that just came in and fucking ended it because Davey Boy wasn't violent. This is the reason why Dynamite got cold cocked. Davey Boy started the shit and got going, and Dynamite would make the corner and get blasted. Davey Boy would go to stir shit, and then he would go tell Dynamite and would say, "You know what they said about you? He was a real badass piece of shit, man." So what happened was I walked into the locker room one night and caught Davey Boy, who did not smoke, getting lit cigarettes from Dynamite and throwing them inside the snake bag. So the snake would be pissed off and bite me. Real funny. So I said, "Okay, motherfuckers." A couple of nights later, and I'm not the type of guy who would do revenge, but I see a hungry dog. You know those hot dogs at a wrestling show? Not the best thing to feed an animal, especially 7 or 8 of them with chili. It looked like chocolate to me, but it may have been X-Lax. I loaded that motherfucker up, and then I timed this shit. They took it back to the hotel, okay? And the dog was moaning like, "Ooh." She wanted to go outside, man. Do you think they wanted to take her outside? Fuck that fucking dog. They're going to the bar. I go over to the room, and I go, "Knock, knock, knock." And I hear the dog go, "Arr, arr, splat." I hear her spray that shit, and I let her calm down. Arr. Then I go back to the door and hammer on him again. Arr, arr. Oh, she's coating the whole room with shit, man. I mean, I'm outside the door holding in laughter. I hold them come in about 2 o'clock, and Davy's boys, fucking motherfucking dog, you fucking piece of shit. They had no idea? She'd shit all over the fucking beds, man. They had no idea. Jake Roberts and Roddy Piper would later go on to talk about how all the wrestlers would vengefully feed Matilda their leftovers, even implying that the Bulldogs and others would pump her with steroids. Piper. So, Matilda, I know the animal lovers aren't going to like this. Oh, yeah, I feel bad about it, but not real bad.
Jesus.
Now, Matilda, every time all the guys would come, every time I came from the restaurant, I would have a piece of steak, and I would feed the dog. Me too. I'm talking everybody would do that. The dog was 400 pounds, man. And it's a bulldog with a belly. With its belly hitting the ground, man. Don Morocco gets me, and we find out that Bulldogs are going to work a program with the Heart Foundation. I don't know how many shots that dog may have received for rabies or... Okay. Booster shots, yeah. For the fluid. And the dog could probably bench around 550. Yeah. So I'm with Morocco. And that's Piper talking. All right. That's enough of this. It's basically Piper and Roberts going on about how they tortured this fucking dog.
I guess that's where Amber Heard got inspiration for the shit on the bed.
So her dog got stung by a bee.
Jesus.
All right, that's enough of that. That hurt my throat.
Maybe I'll look through the others. Maybe we'll have another good one next week.
All right, it's time for 5 questions.
5 questions.
Make them good. Put them in the comments, and we will answer 5 questions.
I'm the guide to the labyrinth in your mind.
Stop it.
So there's Macho Man, right? We got that fucking snake. And Macho Man comes up and says, "I hear we're going to do something special tonight." And it's like, "Yeah, man, whatever you want." Macho Man, "Has that snake been devenomized?" "Well, yeah, man, I use a fucking snake all the time." "Maybe it is, and maybe it isn't." Sorry, they're getting blended now. It's starting to hurt my throat.
All right, question number 1. This is for you, Max. What do you think of Riddle teaming up with Nakamura?
I'm really thrilled by this. I was a little iffy at first, but they're making a great tag team. They're building it correctly. The Usos took out Boogs. The Usos, quote unquote, took out Orton. They're building that together. I think they're going to work together fantastically.
What's their name going to be?
They haven't decided yet. I am thrilled. What do you think their name's going to be, Rob? Or anybody? Give me what's some ideas? What do you guys think it's going to be?
I fucking hate it.
Chopsticks and roach clips.
I dig it. I dig it.
I hate.
It's the greatest thing ever.
I hate it.
Make it put on t-shirts.
I hate this idea. I hate that they're wasting fucking Nakamura. Hate it. Just hate it.
Chopsticks.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Roach clips.
Weed and sushi.
Weed and sushi.
Sushi
They're
and
gonna
smoke.
use each other. They're not going to be a mainstream tag team.
No.
Like they're not going to win the titles. They won't. They're not
So
going
they
to do
shouldn't be a
that. So
tag
they're going
team.
to use each other to get revenge on the bloodline, and it's going to build to where we were talking about it earlier. And I'm going to say it now. It may or may not happen. But we're going to say we're going to go and call it now, right?
Yeah, sure.
Riddle should win. At least should win Money in the Bank.
No.
And then challenge Roman for the belt. And that's when Orton makes his return and fucks over Roman, lets Riddle take the belt.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. Nothing is anymore.
No.
Riddle
I hate
said
it.
that he would have his revenge on Roman Reigns if it took his entire career.
And hopefully it does. All right.
Ghostly Nightmare.
Do you think Abyss would be amazing if he was actually wrestling right now in WWE? Right now, no.
No.
15 years ago?
But he was going to wrestle Taker?
10 years ago? Absolutely.
Yeah.
The thing with Chris Park is that in the early days of TNA, he was in incredible condition. He was a very imposing figure. If you followed TNA week to week, me either, buddy. I love you. That's my son. If you followed TNA week to week, you saw Abyss put on weight, get slower as the later years between 2010 and upward went on. Now, if this were the Abyss they were planning on calling up and tried to call up in 05 and 06, those matches would have been incredible.
Yeah.
And those matches weren't even the matches you wanted to see. You wanted to see Abyss and Kane.
Yeah.
Because those matches would have fucked. But as of right now, no. Abyss, he's much better in his position.
Mama, let me ask you a question
Johnny
here.
wants sushi now.
I want sushi now.
That's
I like sushi.
Who, in your opinion, is the most talented wrestler that is being very underutilized? Now,
Can
I
I
have a
take this
question.
one?
Today?
Hold on, I have a question.
Okay.
Do you mean now being utilized as in like currently or like of all time? That's the big part of that question.
Well, that's
Currently,
a very
I wanna-
loaded.
yeah, I wanna take
Currently.
this one.
Okay, currently. Go ahead,
Hands
Max.
down, and we've talked about this before. You may or may not agree with me now. Shelton Benjamin.
I've always said Shelton Benjamin's underutilized. Always. Now I think he's a little past the period where he would have been at his peak.
Yeah.
That's because they're not using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had to make a selection from today's current roster pool, honestly, the first name that always comes to mind is Chad Gable.
Shush.
Chad Gable, if you allowed his Olympic wrestling and his Olympic experience to take the forefront and crafted a believable character, even if you kept the hokey, funny stuff in the same way
And
they
put
did
him in
with
a feud with
the same
Shelton
way they did
Benjamin.
with Kurt Angle.
Yes. Yeah,
Right here,
on
buddy.
the nose.
Chad
Yeah.
Gable all day, and also the
Put
only
him in a tag team with
outside.
Shelton Benjamin.
The ironic thing, outside of Shelton Benjamin, and you could argue Bobby Lashley and Brock, the only legitimate shooter in the company is Chad Gable. At 5'8",
Outside
Chad
of
Gable
Shelton
could
Benjamin.
stretch almost anybody on that roster, with the exception of Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley. Shelton Benjamin, Bully Ray Dudley, has gone on record and says, as of today, there is not a person on the WWE roster that Shelton Benjamin could not take and stretch. That's a fact.
My pick for the most talented yet very underutilized, Baron Corbin.
Good point. Real
He's
good
a
point.
damn good heel. He has natural heat. He's still in the prime of his career. Everybody backstage likes him, and they do shit.
And has taken every shit gimmick they've given him and turned it into gold. Great
That's the
question.
one that jumps out to me.
That's
yes,
a
that's
point.
a fantastic question.
Big Bad John? Big Bad John's busy. That's what I heard there. All right. What do we, that's 2 questions, yeah?
Yes.
Which wrestling faction?
That's 3 questions. We did the Abyss, and then we did the one.
No, you're right. You're right.
3rd question.
So, yeah, this is our 3rd.
This would be our 4th.
Wait.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, go back here.
No, that's right.
Abyss? Yeah, Shelton, what was the other one? Oh, Riddle and... Okay, now I remember. All right, 4th question. Which wrestling faction? What do you mean? Which wrestling faction's best? Which do we like the most? Which do we dislike the most?
Well, he's
no.
Is it underutilized? Is it falling?
I think that's what he means, but while we're waiting for that response, yes, I do absolutely think that Theory should have a better gimmick than he does.
I think Theory's on the right track.
I think it works.
Theory's going to be, people can say whatever they want. They're wrong. Theory's going to be the next John Cena. With the, I'm talking about the machine being behind him, whether or not he's got the charisma, affability.
Him up a little bit. He's not quite there yet.
Yes, but when the machine gets behind him, and they're going to because he's one of Vince's top guys, he's going to be the next John Cena.
He's talented.
Also, if you want me to go to the other side of that and go female talents, Shayna Baszler. Very underutilized. Very talented.
The wrestling for tonight, this was toward the previous question. What? I'm sorry, Rob. I'm having difficulty understanding. If you could rephrase that, we'll answer that question, I promise. 4th question. What do you think of Sammy being part of the bloodline?
He's not.
Comedic gold.
That's comedic gold. The pictures he shared of a young him with the young Roman in them.
Comedic gold.
Hilarious.
We are going to answer Ghostly's, and we're going to double back and answer Rob's once that question's better fielded because I said we would. So this is our last question until Rob asks. What talent do you think the WWE has on the roster they are leading a golden opportunity slip by and they should do more with? I think we sort of already answered that with underutilized talent, but that question was toward the previous questions about wrestlers. So which faction is most underutilized? All across the board, the House of Black in AEW.
Dark Order.
Fuck the Dark Order.
The reason that nobody likes the Dark Order is because they had such potential and they dropped the ball with it.
Well, that's the point. But they didn't have that. If the Dark Order had recruited some stronger talent initially, sure.
Also,
but they made a deliberate point of recruiting undercard talent with the idea of building them around one central person, regardless of the tragedy. That was the trajectory of
golden opportunity letting slip away. You're right. That they should do more with Sheamus's group.
Well, there's
that's not bad.
Honestly, there's a lot of things because when you bring up the factions and the tag teams, I don't think about just what's already there. I think about what should be put together. And one thing that, whether it's now or maybe later on after the title run is over, Cody Rhodes come out. His new entrance that starts out. There's only one royal family. And
there's more than one royal family.
Oh, there's
more than one royal family.
Either way, so whatever. He needs to build on a faction filled with like the Hearts and
like a legacy.
Orton and Legends thing, and go up against the Bloodline.
That he should create his own legacy with up and coming superstars.
Hold on,
yes, that's
Braun Breaker. Second generation superstar.
I think about the Usos and all this different Samoans that you can bring in, Nia Jax and
but if you just went second generation superstars in the company now, Cody Rhodes, Braun Breaker, son of the Steiners, a WCW-esque faction.
When you say all, I think about all the different possibilities of people that should be together. Like we were talking about, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable would make a
even
phenomenal.
Even with Otis.
They're all legitimate Olympians.
That's what I was saying. Bring Shelton in there.
Yeah. Make him the Kurt Angle to be their team captain.
I would like to cover this. He said, but who would you like to see dethrone Roman Reigns, Drew, Riddle, or Randy? Cody.
Riddle, or Randy? Riddle. Out of the three, Drew, Riddle, or Randy?
If I had to pick those three specifically, Randy. But here's why. Randy Orton can go in. If you follow the Tomb of the Bloodline, Randy Orton shows up and says, I'm a third generation superstar too. My family is
Exactly.
wrestling
He can go-
royalty.
he can-
Yeah.
And then what happens? There's more than one royal family.
Exactly.
Cody Rhodes.
Why
The
aren't
succession-
they playing on that?
They're going to, but the succession
It's gonna
goes from
happen.
Roman to Randy, Randy to Cody.
It's going to happen.
And then next year, Cody's top of the company.
All
I don't know,
right,
I think-
folks.
I still think Riddle's gonna.
That was our fifth and final question. We appreciate that you helped us with the.
Fuck it. We got 5 minutes. One more. One more in a 5 minute time period, just because I'm having fun.
All right, give us one more.
One more, because we were late, as a gift to the fans.
By the way, remember to spread the word that if you're not a subscriber, you
don't get to participate.
You
Ooh,
should
but
be a
you
subscriber.
He said prayers to Randy Orton.
Yes, I do mean the dork order. You're a corny guy.
Injury, Luke?
Yes, Randy Orton actually has a sternum injury. It is not a gimmick. He has a bruised sternum. That's why they used the stairs and wrote him off TV for a couple weeks.
He is not as hurt as they're playing.
No,
but he is.
but he will be taking time.
Projected time
Like
3
I
to
did
6
what?
weeks.
Yeah,
I
6
called
weeks.
that last week.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Before we get into the final question of the night, this is Memorial Day weekend.
Yes, it is.
I would like to, as well as my brothers here, would like to thank anyone who has ever served or is serving.
Yep.
For your service, because without you guys, we don't get the freedoms that we enjoy.
No, we couldn't be here doing this show right now without our men and women in the armed services protecting our country, doing their due diligence. And we thank each and every person who's ever served. Anybody currently serving, if you're watching, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Here's to you. And also, Memorial Day always comes with familial celebrations. Please enjoy responsibly.
Yes.
Drive safe. I almost died in a car accident last year because I had a little too much and I fell asleep at the wheel. That's a fact. I admit that. Please drink
Responsibly.
amiably. Do so responsibly. Find someone to drive you home. Too many good people die this year. This weekend and 4th of July weekend are like the two biggest casualty weekends, period. So please imbibe, but imbibe in a responsible manner.
Yes.
Just
If
like
you,
me.
if
Remember
you come
that
in contact
anything
with
that
anybody
sucks
who
to be a
served,
bad thing.
thank them
That's
for their
right.
service. It doesn't take anything to be a decent human being.
That's right. All right, one more question, then we're out of here. You only got 3 minutes because I'm closing this bitch down at 2. So if you got one question, rapid fire it right now.
First come, first serve. First question to Pops.
Yep. Come on, baby.
Nothing. Nobody.
Nobody's got one question. They're just dying to ask us. Ooh, well, that's not really a question, but I want to see Tommaso Ciampa take down Roman Reigns. That's a
That'd be
It'd be
fight.
something interesting.
Yeah.
Him and Braun Breaker would be really good too.
Well, they've already done that.
Be careful.
No,
with
I
that,
mean
Rob.
Roman Reigns and Braun.
Oh,
Breaker.
Roman, yes. Take my
Because
money.
he's got a family too.
His family's legitimately. Well, I mean, so are the Samoans.
Yeah.
That's a story in and of itself. Which family was tougher?
Kind of think Randy, Cody, and Braun would be a killer stable to take on the Bloodline.
Mm.
One of my favorite
Just
stories
saying.
was told by Kevin Nash when he talked about how him and his tag team partner got booked against the Steiners. And Nash legitimately said, look, there's no shoot in which the Steiners ever lose.
No.
Ever. And then the interviewer was like, what about Haku? And Nash was like, maybe Haku, but nobody else.
There's a question, and it's the first one to pop
Can you
up.
tell a funny story about Max? Yes, I can.
Oh, god damn.
Max Fury,
Man,
many moons ago,
I'm kicking you out.
was booked in a wrestling match against a nefarious, evil, just diabolical machine called the Monster Eclipse. And the Monster Eclipse powerbombed Max Fury so hard and so fast and so clean
It was
that we
both nasty and pretty at the same
that for a
time.
moment, those of us watching, because I wasn't involved in the match at all, it was the Monster Eclipse, that Max Fury was dead.
Max Fury folded
But
up
he
like
survived.
An
Like
He
an
survived.
accordion. Yeah.
All right, here's a real question. Okay, question. Tommaso Ciampa, Roman Reigns. Who wins? Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
There it is. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank
Yes.
you for your patience. We promise we're going to get these bugs worked out. The show's going to get a whole lot more aesthetic. As always, we appreciate the likes. We appreciate the subscriptions. Please find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. Send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. Happy Memorial Day. And for us, to you, as always,
Keep it in the ring.
Circle.
Time my fucking powerbomb, man.
Drop it. No one knows you're the Eclipse.
No,
Not a
no,
single
never-
person
never-
knew.
Not
one.
No. Well, he was so handsome.
He really was.
Good looking kid.
With the Legion guy.
Yeah, with the Legion.
Yeah,
and
the Ninja Greg.
and the fireworks.
And the
Ninja
stuff.
Greg.
And the stuff. Oh, no,
Oh.